Okay, and we are live. Good evening, and welcome to tonight's Insanity on By the Dice. So first and foremost, two announcements. Thank you to the Reptile Rescue.
Rip Reptiles.
Rip Reptiles. They are a rescue organization. They have been kind enough to continue to supply us with ink and paper for character sheets, which is important. Also, thank you to Rare Earth Dispensary in Eugene, Oregon. We look forward to many years of working with you guys. We love your selection of Old Toby, and the link for them is actually in their weed maps address and location are in the description. Other than that, thank you to the artist in the link below for music tonight, brought to you royalty free, and that's what I've got. Next.
Thank you to Jordan and anyone else who contributed to tonight's feastiary.
Yeah.
I think it was all.
Aw, thank you,
It was
Jordan.
all Jordan tonight on the
all
feast.
Jordan tonight.
Thank you. Feastiary. I love that.
I like
The
that.
wine
Good,
is
yeah.
Liz's fault.
Oh yeah, the wine is usually my fault.
Or mine.
Oh, actually, I think tonight it was mine.
Oh yeah, it was Chris's fault tonight, so thank you, Chris.
Thank you, Chris.
That one was mine tonight.
And, so with that, how about we recap it and dive into tonight's insanity?
Yeah.
So last time, when we left our lovely group of miscreants, I can't call them heroes, they had just finished things up in the Mycoloid Empire's festival and public trial, and much to their dismay, had found that one of their almost victims, who was quite brutalized nonetheless, was absolutely incapable of either speech and illiterate. Everyone, Alabaster had not been around, and though Chris is joining us, Alabaster has caught wind of what went down and has decided to stay on his farm for a while. It just didn't sit well with his poor paladin mind.
Alabaster and Viridia are united in this.
Viridia?
Except that Viridia stayed with the party.
Very much
Sheer
so.
dumb luck.
And
And a will save. You're
And a
all for
will
will
save.
save.
and and everyone was just about ready to get headed down the road, or back up the road, as it were, and had found out that there was actually an entranceway to this particular city approximately a mile of cavernway, and it would bring them out very close to the western gates of Evermist. And with that, we leave our group having looted those that they could, eaten and feasted well, in some cases brutalized, all with the weight of their measure on their way, packed up, to head out the northern exit, leave the town, and move back to and go back to Evermist, with tidings of urgent need for trade in exotic mushrooms from the residents of the city. And with that, I need everybody to roll for initiative to decide who's going to go first.
That's just a straight D20 roll.
Mm-hmm. Plus whatever your initiative bonus is.
19
4.
plus.
What is our initiative on the new Pathfinder?
Oh wait. Do we get initiative bonuses in Pathfinder, or is it just a straight roll?
That's a good question.
I'll say add your dex bonus to it because that would give you the...
30, 20.
Okay, so 7.
19.
Please put this in jail.
Oh
Natural
wow!
one?
Already.
It started my night with a 1.
16.
16?
Comes up to a total of 4.
19.
Okay, which of you has the higher dexterity?
20.
Yeah, but which has the higher dexterity score?
I have a +3.
Mine is a +1, but
Mine's a
totals
+2.
Okay.
13.
1, 2, that's the 20s. 19, 18.
That was a 19.
Okay, you're 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 19 down to 16. 16? 4. You go 5, Viridia. And Kalora, you're last. Alright, so, as you're packing yourself up to get ready to go, what are you doing? I mean, you did just brutalize that poor man.
Hey, what is that?
Well, think about how everything ended, Viridia, Stan, and what you see.
I think I'm just gonna stand around and look around.
Alright, go ahead and roll perception.
I got a 9.
That's close enough. You get this vague impression that people are actually kind of giving sideways glances and avoiding you all.
I'm used to it.
Oh wow.
Kind of is.
Not really.
Alright, and you?
I go to the fire where the dude I drug in is because I want to string up his corpse, and then I remember that I don't have my javelins and that I left them in the bar with the maiden that I had been with and had given gold to, or given a silver piece to store my other weapons. I'm like, oh, I have to go back there.
Right, so you see... So did you drag them out of the fire?
I went to, and then, no.
Okay. So you watch as Azura goes back there, or goes back to the fire, looks like they're going to do something, changes their mind, and starts heading back to leave. And that brings us to Aspen.
So after the brutality, I meander my little self back to where we were sitting and eating, and I just sit back down and continue to enjoy the festivities as if nothing happened.
As you're sitting down doing this, you notice that people move away from you as you sit down, and it seems that everybody's starting to pack up. Like, food is being put away, plates are being covered, table settings are being cleared, whether or not the plates are empty. People just aren't hungry anymore.
People just got burned alive, so that's not surprising.
That part they were okay with, it was the rest of it. And they really seem to be giving you a huge berth. And you, now we go to a completely different place. And to a different individual who is at present about 10,000 feet above the surface of the planet, in a dirigible airship, with this odd, feeling of needing to figure out where to go next, finding themselves for, I think, the 4th or 5th time now, back in the body of a youth. And still not quite in control of their ability to shapeshift. So Ronan,
And would I know why this is happening?
do you vaguely remember what might have caused the curse?
So if I was for Damn it Aspen, would that make sense?
Yes.
Damn it Aspen!
The catch is that every time that you have reset exactly to ground zero of the spell.
Oh no!
Yeah, so I could be 100 die and I go back to being 17.
No, you only make it to 30.
Only 30? So I can't even outlive my old life?
Nope. You're in a perpetual time loop of your own.
Damn it, Aspen!
Me too.
You do know that you have not seen the Queen Regina in some 40 years. You're relatively certain that she was caught in a similar problem. And it has occurred to you on repeated occasions that you have no idea what she looked like as a little girl.
I was never a little girl. I wouldn't be.
No, but, well, that's true because you were an elf. You would have.
Yeah, I was.
You're
only
just stuck in a
123.
perpetual 13-year loop.
Yeah, I was
With a
123 years old, so I go back to being 112, back up to 123 over and over.
Well, 5 years post, so, or 8 years post, whatever her age was. So
Yeah.
you're bouncing that 13-year stretch every time.
Yep.
And
But either way, I'm still unable to find her.
nope. And
Definitely.
every time, and a couple times, you're pretty sure you've gotten close, and then something happened. You died, and you ended up right back at ground zero again.
Say that out loud for the camera.
Stupid fucking curse, goddamn bullshit.
That about covers it. And that brings us back down into the deep and the dark and the glowy and the damp. And to our dear Viridia, who, without even needing a perception check, seems to be the only one of you that anybody is even willing to talk to. And a couple people walk by and pat you on the shoulder and go, "Are you okay, dear?"
So, as I stand up from comforting the woman that I just saved from death's door, I go to put on my backpack to leave, but I can still smell the burning flesh from the fire and just the general grossness of dead bodies. And I go to start to put on my backpack and shit, and then I walk over to the corner of the cave and I just fucking hurl everything I've eaten in the last 3 days. Just fucking lose my cookies all over the place.
It's a garden salad smoothie.
It is a garden salad smoothie. I'm a vegetarian. Burning flesh is not my friend.
And so this is what you all are seeing, and that brings us to Kalora.
I don't know about all y'all, but I am hogging out on some meat that I had in my bag and enjoying the thrills.
You're watching everybody literally pack everything up. They're also putting out the fires.
Mm-hmm. They're putting out the fire, that's cool by me. They're leaving me the fuck alone, that's cool by me. I am eating my lunch and enjoying my escapades over the last. I feel a little guilty about almost crushing that poor woman's head in. Like there's a little bit of, well, if she'd have looked up, I probably wouldn't have reacted that way, but fuck! But other than that, I am eating my lunch and enjoying the space and the lack of flaming things.
There are two types of people in this world.
Those who have a cast iron stomach and those who do not.
I've seen worse than this.
Yeah.
My gives a fuck is broken.
So, as you're sitting there just watching, after everything's doused and out, you notice that the fire is broken down by the locals and spread across what looks like an outdoor eatery almost, except there's no food served.
Mm-hmm.
And the queen comes up to you all and goes, well, we really do hate to harry you on, but the faster you can get those trade negotiations underway, the better.
We scared your townsfolk, I get it. We'll be on our way.
I asked Viridia if she wants some ale.
No. No. Tea. Or water, maybe.
You do hear a trickling fresh spring in several places throughout. They do have fresh water fountains that are literally just pouring through the rocks.
Cool. I go over to one of those and I, cup my hands.
I offer her one of the glass mugs that
Nicola purchased for you.
yeah.
I just fill it with water and drink some water. Finish getting my backpack on and looking pretty fucking irritated and generally uncomfortable.
So is everybody still standing around then?
I'm gonna throw open my wings like for a stretch, but kind of showboating.
A couple people roll their eyes.
I'm gonna go find some meat.
One little kid gets incredibly terrified, squeals, and runs away crying.
Oh.
I make direct eye contact if available.
You can smell the urine trail as they ran away.
Soaking Viridia.
Kalora takes great joy in being intimidating. The scarier I am, the scarier I'll be when I run into the person responsible for my own tragedies.
Viridia launches herself off the cave wall she's been puking on and just runs for the entrance of the cave for fresh air.
Okay, so you're gonna turn this into a 1 mile run?
No, I'm just wait, I didn't think we were.
It's a mile trail up through the northern caverns. I said it last week.
Oh. Yeah. I'm gonna run a mile to the cave entrance. I ain't even slowing down. I want out.
You watch Viridia bolt
Yeah.
as the little kid screams and goes running away and makes a fast dash out the northern gates and disappears into the darkness. Do you have low light vision? By the way?
Me? Yeah.
How about dark vision? Well, there's enough glowing mushrooms.
Yeah, no, I think it's only low light vision for me.
Roll a dex check for me, please. You're running at full bore.
Okay, but I'm also kind of puking, so I'm like, got my hands on the cave wall, and I'm like,
Yeah, that's why the dex check.
I'm taking flight in the same direction.
16.
Yeah, that is possibly one of the most amazingly graceful puking jogs you have ever seen in your life.
This means
It's Viridia's special skill.
that way it can get contaminated.
Graceful under duress.
In this particular case, yes. So, Viridia has left. Kalora has followed suit. Aspen, they have packed up
Yeah, no,
everything.
I'm packing up my gear and I'm tailing after everyone.
Running at full pace, or are you actually just taking your time?
I mean, I'm 12, so I mean, my full pace is not very fast. So I mean, I'm going as fast as my 12-year-old body can handle it.
Do you have dark vision or low light?
I have low light.
You're, oh, shit.
How close were you to me by the fireside?
I mean, I don't know. I went back to the table that we were sitting at, so I would assume fairly close.
Right, as I take flight, seeing her try to keep up, despite my reservations, I'm going to offer a lift.
Huh.
Would you like a ride?
Sure.
Swooping in and, like an eagle taking a bit of prey off the side of a cliff, grab Aspen and start flying.
So, from y'all's perspective,
I braced myself.
it looks like everybody just took off running after Viridian. Throwing up going out the northern trail.
I didn't take off running after them. I'm looking for food.
No. from
There
our
isn't any left.
perspective.
Oh.
They packed it up and took it away.
I go to the tavern and collect my things and chug an ale and then go that way.
They won't serve you ale.
Meh.
And actually, a few people get up and leave as you walk in the door to collect your things. They let you have them, obviously, but they're yours. But people don't seem very comfortable with you being around anymore. And Wisp, what are you doing?
I guess I'm gonna start walking towards radio.
So you're just gonna walk out the north gate?
Yeah, why not?
You actually find it to be a very, very pretty, minus the puke smell, walk. Well, could be worse. You're vegetarian at least. The light, the entire trail is lit with relatively low light. That was a 12, by the way.
Right, it's my decision dice.
And it's actually, it looks very much like the rest of town. It's all bioluminescent and things of that nature. And it's just a pretty nice leisurely walk. You see patrols as you go every now and then. You hear somebody comment about, if you're going after the puke and when she went that way. You hear people muttering about, oh man, who's gonna clean this shit up? And that brings us, so are you following or are you just in town after collecting your things?
I
Or,
said I was gonna follow.
so are you walking or running?
Walking.
You can hear Azura behind you as you're going up the trail a little bit because they went back to the tavern to come out. And after about maybe 20 to 30 minutes, you all find yourselves at the opening in fresh air. It's early afternoon. You kind of lost track of time in the underground because there's no actual natural light. And we're going to go back to Ronan, who, off in the distance, you can see a great smokestack and spires. And the faint inkling of what looks like the shine of bronze docks as the afternoon sun barely glints off of them. There's kind of like a porter, somebody who calls out, Evermist, docking in about 10 minutes. And
I'm probably gonna try to get off here and do some more looking for the queen that on my search.
Okay. So
Okay.
you got about 10 minutes of that. And that will bring us back to the top of the original initiative, which will pull us to you. Wisp. Yeah, as you come out into fresh air.
I'm gonna take a deep breath in, look around a little bit, and be like, "Hey, look! There's that tree I was in one of the first nights we were here."
No.
Oh, you're a lot closer than that.
Oh.
You can actually see the gates of the town, maybe 300 yards up the road.
Ooh. I'm gonna keep walking that way.
Okay. And you were next.
I just picked up.
So about 15, 20 feet out of the cave, Azura catches up and is now like right next to you.
We should go find more alcohol.
I just hand him a flask.
I'm gonna take a drink.
What was in it?
Mead.
So it's pretty nice honey mead. It's a little bit dry, like they didn't put enough honey in it afterwards. But it's still pretty good. And that brings us around to you, Aspen.
I'm up in the air.
Oh yeah,
I'm being carried by
Kalora. Yeah, you're
Kalora.
being carried by
When
Kalora.
he got to the entrance of the cave.
Oh, as
Did you
soon as
put-
we were out of the cave, I drop you like fucking a hot rock.
Literally,
Uh huh.
how far up?
Oh!
Only like a foot or two off the ground. I was flying low.
Okay, can you roll a dex check?
I was on that.
No intention of actually hurting Aspen. Just nope. We are not in the cave anymore.
With my dex bonus, I have a 17.
You're fine. It's very obvious that they really didn't want to touch you.
Thanks for not hurting me.
So anyway, so what are you doing? As you were dropped roughly, well, let me see here. Is that wide? So I need 26. Yeah, you were dropped about 10 feet away from us, still quite queasy, and at this point, since you have fresh air, I would assume that you are like on the hands and knees, catching your breath, hyperventilating to try and keep
I'm
it.
not on my hands and knees. I'm done with that. I'm kind of more like. All right.
Yeah, you're dropped there, and there's a relatively you're still not sure how anybody can throw up that much puddle.
That's
That was
a
kind of
lot.
horrific event. This is what you're hearing, by the way.
Are you okay?
Yeah. I don't eat meat, so smell kind of got to me a little, you know. I guess we need to head back to Evermist to start trade negotiations. I'll be fine.
Okay. Where's the nearest port then?
From here, there's no port between here and Evermist. It's about an hour's walk or so. I mean, we're not actually that far, but pretty sure we're gonna have to go on foot because I think I released the horses earlier.
Actually, go ahead and roll perception.
Okay.
Just don't fail.
Don't fail a perception roll.
Yeah, so don't roll a 1. You're good.
Yeah, good. 5.
So, you notice as you're finally getting your bearings that Evermist is about 300 yards away.
Oh shit, we're way closer than I thought. Man, those caves are confusing. Okay, I don't know how long it takes to walk 300 yards. You'd think a tracker like me would know, but that's Evermist right over there. That's as far as we need to go for now.
300 yards is less than a quarter mile.
Oh,
Yeah.
so like a 5-minute walk? 10-minute walk?
3
Something like
football
that.
fields, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's 900 feet and a quarter mile is 1320.
Yeah, but how long does it take to walk 900 feet?
Most people walk a mile in about 20 minutes.
I was gonna say, so take.
Walk a mile in like 14 minutes.
It's like a 5-10 minute walk at most.
I was gonna
Okay.
say, yeah,
Yeah,
most
okay.
like 5-10 minutes away.
And that's if you're being leisurely because you just tossed all your cookies all over the entirety of the cave systems.
Yeah, if you were
So
to be in a hurry.
it's like 13 minutes that feels like eternity. Got it.
Yeah.
Well, to me.
Okay, and Kalura, as you come out, you can actually see Evermist because you didn't land.
Yep. Didn't land. I'm keeping eyes on the group, but kind of like a vulture circling.
I need
about.
you to roll perception.
No.
What'd
was
you roll?
Oh, a 14 with my with my bonus.
That will definitely do. I just needed you to not fail. Off in the distance, you can see a relatively large ship. It's very much resembling a, well, parts of it look kind of like a Zeppelin or a dirigible.
Mm-hmm.
Other parts of it seem to be running off of magical crystals, but it's about a 500-foot long vessel with very heavily gilded adornments is landing in Evermist.
Swoop low, kind of off to the side of Viridia. Hey, your hometown's got visitors.
We get ships in and out of there all the time. It's the only trade hub here in the north, so that's not so surprising. We should get there in just a few minutes.
All right. Back up.
And then I call out, "Hey, Aspen, come here, walk with me."
Hustle over as quick as I can.
I just kind of put my arm around her, like I've decided to get maternal about this little girl, this little half drow elf.
You are still technically older than her.
Well, I'm definitely, at least in my perspective, older than she is. Actually, yeah.
No,
I'm
you're older
I'm
than
still
her.
older than she
Yeah.
is. Even so, but yeah, it's like my natural instinct to protect this kid. I also, because I know who she actually is, so now I'm doubly concerned. And I kind of, now that I've got my bearings, I've got some fresh air, I, fall more into my like regular tracker stride, got all those tracking capabilities, and I'm using my familiarity with the terrain to move pretty quickly through it while I've got a hold of her.
As you all are moving forward and all of this is going on, since it would be simultaneous, you, Ronan, are landing, and everyone else can hear trumpets blaring. Basically, and there seems to be a large amount of commotion as you arrive at the gates. The guards are leaving their posts. Someone runs up. One of the elders walks up. He's like, "Perfect. What's with the kid? Never mind. We need you. Apparently. We're a bit short-handed and we need extra bodies to fill."
What now?
Well, there's a boat full of refugees coming in.
Refugees?
Yes.
From where?
The High Elven Kingdom?
Oh, Jiminy Christmas. Looks like you're quite the little omen there, Aspen. Stick close to me. We'll go,
Oh no.
We'll go make sure that everything coming off this ship is cool. Hell, maybe you'll run into somebody you know.
Yep, let's go see what happened from the High Elf Kingdom.
So, we already discussed that earlier, so you already know, Ronan. I don't have to deliver that message to you. So, what's everybody else doing?
I'm aloft.
You're aloft?
Mm-hmm.
Are you just following? What are you following?
I'm following the group, kind of like just making sure nothing goes freaking stupid.
In the back of your head, you hear, "We need you to land."
And start to make my way down. I have no idea where I'm landing, so
How
it's
quickly?
I'm nosediving, but prep, with the talons readied.
You actually pulled this off without an issue this time?
I feel a Beastie Boys song coming on.
Because my acrobatics is now a +8, so I would have been able to do it. My athletics is a +10.
Yeah. You'd be fine. And as you land, you hear everybody going, so, there's whispers throughout the crowd. It's gone. Why are they sending so many? Something must have gone wrong. That is a huge ship. Look at all the gold on it. You could buy Evermist 7 times over with it. Things like that throughout the entirety of the crowd as you make your way through. And right about this time, Ronan, you hear trumpets blaring. I just can't help it. And you hear and you see the ship gently floating itself into the dock, and it seems like absolutely everyone, to some degree or another, is here. And the gangplanks are lowered. And refugees, one by one, start coming off. And these are some very rough-looking elves, people. I mean, like, they look like somebody fed them horse shit for breakfast, beat them over the head with a tire iron, stuffed them in a gunny sack, and sent them on a 17-day trip through the skies in any kind of weather without any real care for what they had to deal with. You had the luxury, by the way, of having your own private, tiny, little compartment. Most other people were sleeping 6 to one of those.
I turn and look at Aspen. Be careful. Some of these folks are likely to be dangerous. But it's my duty to help them. So come with me, we'll try to get these people processed.
Okay.
Is that cool?
Yep.
Alright. You let me know if anybody looks like they're in dire need of medical care or water or anything like that, right?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Alright. Good girl.
And
Yeah,
yeah, what are you doing as you see all this coming in?
I'm taking a leak.
Where?
It was a long walk on the side of the road.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna pee on this little plant
Oh my god.
that I know to be a safe plant.
Seems like a good idea, and I join him.
Oh my god!
We had meat, and it was a long walk.
Is it still winter?
Yes.
I'm covered in fur. I've got nothing to worry about.
I draw a little smiley face. And so,
Well, you manage your smiley face, and you hear it. Really? They'll let any kind of animal into town these days. At least the bird's potty trained, and walks off.
Can I roll a perception check to hear who said that?
You can try. There are well over 10,000 voices,
It's all good.
and at least 50 people saw that.
No, I did not. I rolled a 5.
Nope.
Plus 7.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Not on that one.
That would have been. That
I've
would have
adjusted
been a
all of
dice
the
needed to be high.
difficulties to match.
Yeah, that would have been a dice needed to be higher. They're lucky. Kalora does not like being referred to as an animal.
What about me? Can I roll for perception?
Oh yeah, you can. You probably could. You'd probably hear it. Oh, you have a chance to hear it, or you could be having a very relaxing piss.
That's not a 20, sir.
Oh, thank you.
That's the decision die.
22.
Yeah, you hear exactly that.
Okay.
At least the bird has the decency. At least the bird's potty trained.
Anyway, I could tell who it was.
You can tell the general direction it came from.
Gotta track it.
Came from your left, somewhere within about 400 yards.
Want to track
Someone's gonna punch someone else on my behalf.
Also called animals.
it. I don't mind being called an animal.
Wrong guy. After about 15 minutes of Wisp disappears, you come back not having any clue who did it. And about this time, everybody would be to where they can see this ship.
Oh, I was actively helping.
Yeah.
Aspen and I were actively helping offload people and get them their names.
You
and
would
stuff.
recognize this as one of the last actual royal frigates.
I recognize this boat. I haven't seen one of these in decades. So I reached up and kind of just like wow at it.
Okay.
Is this an official ship?
This is one of the official in the Royal Navy. Might even have been the one that me and the gang sailed on.
Well,
Might be. I don't know.
God, these people have been. But they've been through hell.
I could only imagine what I put them through.
I asked one of the passengers, "Hey, what happened to you guys?"
all you hear is muttering, it's gone. All gone.
The whole country?
Everything starts becoming incoherent and sobs the second that you ask a question. They just break and
I don't think I have some emotions.
Our brains went to the
But
same
right
thing.
about this time,
I do have quick coercion.
that's to convince somebody to do something.
Yeah,
I
I want to convince them to
pull a
calm
mask
down.
up.
You can try. Diplomacy with a +2 to your circumstance.
Okay.
And please, by all means, how are you calming this poor person down? They've lost everything, literally.
I'll put
I'm
my hood
just-
up and cover my face more.
I'm just gonna wrap my arms around them in a big hug. You're safe now. You're safe now.
So, Ronan, right about this time, let me know what the answer was to that, and I'll tell you how.
I'm not sure where to find my circumstance bonus.
No, I just add +2 to whatever your bonus is on your diplomacy.
Oh, okay, 14. Oh wait, on my diplomacy? 60.
That's better. Right about this time, Ronan, you would be getting to the top of the gangplank. And your left side would technically be facing the gangplank, so he can't see your missing ear.
So, can I roll a perception check
Nope.
and see if I recognize him?
No.
No.
Not right now.
Okay.
As you're getting to the top of the gangplank, the scene that you see before you is of a very young, somewhat eerily familiar half-drow there on the ship. A horned wood elf holding a child or a younger woman trying to console them. A catkin and a Strix and I believe, what was the...
We went with Elven Wild Beast, right? Where...
Looks like a satyr.
Yeah.
And what would equivocally look kind of like a satyr have been pushed to the front with everybody else. At the top of what looks like a very, very confused mass of people, as you see about the majority, you are the last one off the boat, are being filed into town and led through town basically to the groves. But you see this group, and now, yes, each of you roll a perception. Because you can see them, and they're pretty much the only thing that's not just constantly moving with the refugee procession. Does that make sense?
Right.
It was a what, roll?
Perception.
Perception.
9, did I survive today?
Perception. Oh, I
Oh,
either
you
didn't
wrote
write it
that
down. Okay, I didn't write that down, so I'm just gonna take the straight 18.
You're fine. Yes?
Sorry, my die sucked. I got a total of 9.
Was that with what was the base roll?
3.
Okay, well you didn't crit fail it at least.
Right.
And you really wouldn't know this person, but other than to be able to, oh no. You're oblivious, you just see the end of the line. Everybody else.
26.
I got 23.
Mm-hmm.
Am I rolling one too, or is it just the people looking?
You're looking at all, you can see them all.
Yeah. So I.
This is more for how many people actually get a good idea of notice to you.
Okay.
There's not a perception.
Perception's up at the top of your skills.
Why
You're
is
welcome
it
to roll
there?
perception if you want, but it's only going to affect one thing.
You get the same grade.
Exactly.
Should I? Why not?
It's your choice. 10 plus whatever.
Plus 8, so 18.
Oh yeah. And yours?
I was a 9.
9. The two of you see the end of the line. You see someone who, though incredibly young, boy at the end of his teens, is decorated, and you're not really sure what species they are. Viridia, you see them as well, and you'd reckon, and that with as high as you all rolled, what you would recognize is that they do have some marks of, like, they look like they held some sort of rank or station. They seem to be wearing more like diplomats' regalia. Then it happens, and Aspen and Ronan lock eyes for a split second. And the wizard that you were just cussing about is standing right in front of you, about 100 feet away, with her hand on the ship that is the last thing left of the kingdom you just got to, or left.
I'm excited since we locked eyes. I assume we recognize each other.
Yes.
I shout out at the top of my lungs, "Run!"
And how many people know about history?
And with that, I have to run to the restroom.
Knowing what I know about Aspen, would I know the name?
Only if you know history.
I mean, you still have to roll for that, wouldn't you? to see
Yep.
if
We
you
don't.
got-
Technically,
it's not
my occultism
really a
roll
history
on that was
bonus
high?
so much as a lore.
Yeah, it would be lore history if you've got it, or academia.
Okay.
I don't have history.
Oh,
no.
yeah, there's
I just have underworld.
Hmm?
My lore is an underworld.
I got a
Underworld
12
panic.
total.
12 total. You're not sure why that name vaguely sounds familiar.
With my occultism that I rolled to recognize Aspen more?
Yeah, we should. I don't see how we can do this even better.
With my occultism, which I rolled to recognize Aspen.
No. Not in his case.
Okay.
Yeah, right? That's a whole different
He
character.
has no background in the occult. Actually, no general background, but Aspen seems very excited to see this person.
And I look at them and
I
I
almost
just,
guarantee that's another natural disaster.
and I look
I
at
look
Aspen.
up at this person and I kind of narrow my eyes and something like I know I should recognize them, but I don't.
And I look at Aspen, and my eyes narrow, and I'm like, "You did this to me. I am a teenager. You did this to me. I'm stuck in an infinite loop. You cursed me. Why?"
I'm cursed too. I didn't mean to do it. As I'm running clumsily and I trip over myself.
You realize as she gets closer that she's not getting any bigger. No, she's actually a preteen.
Well, like you said, it affected you too, but damn it! I was a success, and now I'm a teenager. Why?
It wasn't supposed to work like that. I promise. It wasn't. I just said the wrong thing. I mistranslated something.
Well, I am here to not only help the refugees, but I am also on a mission to look for the previous queen. She has been missing for the better half of 4 decades.
Really? She's been gone that long?
Yeah, no sign. I've been searching for her this whole time.
I only just got here. I respawned 3 days ago? 2 days ago? Was it 2 days ago?
About a day and a half.
A day and a half ago?
Yeah, I keep respawning, and every time I die on a mission, I go back to ground zero
Oh, wow.
and start all over again.
By the way, this last time you had to tread water when you came back.
I get a random place every time I die.
Oh, see, I'm not that unlucky, but I do have to go back to ground zero and just start everything over again and just hope that I don't go back to somewhere where I just was.
That sucks. I have not seen the queen, though. I have not found her.
Yeah, most of the other party, you're the only person I've ran into from the previous party that knows the queen that I've seen in decades. Everybody else is kind of just gone too.
In the last 40 years, I haven't heard anything of her. Not hair, not Pete, nothing.
Yeah, it's been a long journey.
Are you guys talking about Queen Aurora?
Yeah,
Yes.
princess.
Yes.
The kingdom has. Nobody knows where she is. The kingdom has been in free fall for decades. The queen disappeared one day, and honestly, nobody's ever seen her since.
I was the queen's right-hand diplomat. I worked in her high council.
You were not
Can I
spy.
roll another check?
Oh, I'm not
Or-
playing as
Well, he just told me who he was. Can I roll another history check to see if I can
Mhm.
place him now?
Yeah, you can.
I'm not playing as Sari.
Oh, that's much better. 13 plus a lord
No.
is 3, so
This
6.
is the beast.
That plus having heard his name screamed across the dockyard, as it were.
Mm.
It clicks.
You're Ronin. You're.
Yes.
Weren't you the head of her secret?
Yes.
And also diplomat to the Nox.
Yep.
Goblins.
Oh, goblins. So sorry.
Yes.
Wow. What? How did you get all the way to Evermist? Why did you come here?
I was traveling with the refugees. This was my next stop to look for the queen because, like you said, she's been missing for decades, and I've been searching for her for decades.
Trust me, if Queen Aurora Lee were in Evermist, we'd have returned her post haste. Of course.
I just
Unfortunately,
got to do my job and continue the search. But I am also at the point where my kingdom is now in ruins. It is, as you've heard from the refugees, it is gone.
yeah. Yeah, I don't even know if getting your friend there, Aspen, the destroyer, back to her tower would be enough to fix this. Although, at least she remembers where it is this time, and we do know where the tower is. We could get you guys there. I just don't know how much good it would do at this point.
Yeah, I'm not sure either because from everything that's been going on, it's just it's gone. There's not much left, and what is left is in shambles.
Well, there's always a hearth fire for visitors here in Evermist. Come, sit with us this evening. We'll go to the what do we name the awesome tavern? We'll go to the tavern, have a few drinks.
I'm gonna have to look that up.
I'll speak with the elders in the morning. It was a good name. I'll speak with the elders in the morning.
The name of the tavern is currently in process of being translated in game.
So who's hungry?
I am.
I didn't get to finish my dinner from the festivities in the cavern.
Yeah, chances are good we're not going to be welcome back there for a hot minute. Anyway, I'm assuming that yesterday's behavior was on terms of hangry, so let's go get something to eat, huh?
To be fair, that last one I probably wouldn't have if she'd have looked up at me.
I don't need to know the sordid details of your interrogation techniques. I'm just saying we're all much nicer people when we've been fed.
This is true. This is true.
Excuse me.
This is true. And when the people we're talking to aren't being accused of hurting children.
That's his
That's
character
my
sheet.
character sheet.
Oh, no.
I haven't gotten him on paper yet, so
Same.
I'm using my phone because he is on my phone.
Yeah, and as you all obviously are leaving the docks and everything, you see a bunch of what look like elven mechanics start going back to that glorious ship.
Mhm.
They're leaving it functional, but they're stripping every ounce of gold off of it.
Hey!
Now they're high elven mechanics. They're obviously the ship's crew.
Oh. Okay. I stand there and watch him, and I'm like genuinely sad. This is the death of the Empire. This is what it looks like at the end. Just stripping it for parts. Greatest empire this world has ever known, and we're just down to taking gilding off a ship.
You hear one of the engineers call up you. Don't feel bad. We ain't stripping it for parts. We're just stripping off the money pot. We're just gutting it for cash.
Yeah, somehow that doesn't make it any better.
It'll feed our people long enough for them to get established.
It will.
You can go get set up in Evermist.
They're technically in Evermist.
I mean, you can go get set up in town, but I doubt being refugees from Silverine, I very much doubt that they'll be charging you much, but you do you. Try to keep history intact. And I kind of
Well, the ship will sail again.
swoop my arm around Aspen, and I'm like, come along, sweetheart, let's get you something to eat. We don't need to watch all this.
I roll my eyes and come
Right
along.
about that time, you all hear a very loud crash followed by an extremely loud thud, a clang, and some of the boards to the dock going through to the cliffside stone. As the figurehead is dismounted and drops. And about 20 people pick up this 2 tons of gold and start moving towards the smelters.
For a moment, what I'm up on wings like. Nope.
Yeah, the sound
What was that?
definitely makes me jump, and a tear runs down my cheek, and I'm kind of sad to think that, in my mind, I'm thinking, damn, I caused all of this.
A little bit.
I didn't say it out loud, I said it in my head, bro. There's a lot of it, but yeah.
I also jump at the sound, and there's also tears welling up in my eyes. This is just the saddest thing I have ever seen. I lived through the cataclysm, but in the moment, it was all about rescuing people and so on and so forth. I was, caught up in the excitement. This is the first time I've really kind of dealt with the loss, the death. So, like, as soon as that thing hits the ground, and I, like, jump. And then, like Aspen, I've just got kind of big old hot tears welling up in my eyes because this is very sad. This is tragic.
I see it as the, well, for lack of a better word, the human condition. We will take care of our own. If anything, I see it as resourcefulness.
She said tavern, I just started walking.
Kind of what I was wondering if we made it to the tavern yet.
Same, I heard food and I started walking.
Mm-hmm.
And how long were you all lingering while they started walking?
Only seconds behind.
Yeah, a quick jump startle, and like I'm still walking as I'm crying, thinking to myself.
So
Same.
you have reasonable intelligence, yeah?
Yeah.
Like no negative scores, cool. You remember which tavern Viridia was referring to, and it seems like Wisp is leading the way at this point to the tavern. Just kind of, and being public place, or
I'm following my nose.
Nice.
That's super soft.
We're just sharing the last of my flasks since we're going to a tavern and I can refill it.
how long have you been drinking now? Solid?
It's like only a 12-ounce flask and it's like sips on it for like an hour.
If it's like a full, like a wineskin type flask is what you're talking about?
Probably.
Those are actually about 2 liters.
It's more like 72 ounces.
So, I need both of you to make a fortitude check. Or roll a fortitude save for me.
Okay.
Nat 20.
You're
Plus
okay.
whatever.
Yeah, nope.
14 plus.
I got a 14
I'm
plus 10, I
impressed.
got 24.
So,
These are our hard drinkers in the group right here.
yeah. The irony is one of the players actually doesn't drink that often.
Right? Technically, they would have gotten 31.
Okay, so you're feeling pretty good, a little bit more relaxed, life's cool. You, on the other hand, need to roll a dex save.
Well,
That's way
24.
What?
You got a dex
They
save?
just slammed 72 ounces of mead
I
between the
didn't
two of them.
Oh, I did.
I got a 17.
Say what?
17. It's the 15 plus my...
You're stumbling and the world is doing this right now, and she kept handing you that bottle of liquor, and it just kept getting worse. You're actually not so much walking as using the barbarian to hold yourself up.
Alright, good day.
And you're watching this inebriation go down.
That's a good dice. Bastard.
It was a good roll, it was just not high
No.
enough.
I'm gonna take flight and double pace it to the tavern. I want to be like him.
As you fly up by, I let grioup and offer you some.
Of
The
the
last
empty
of it.
flask?
That's the last of it.
Talons, snatch, swoop.
Okay.
I'll have it for them when they get to the tavern.
Are you going to try and drink out of it?
Dex check.
No dex check required for this, but I do need you to roll a strength check as you wring the water skin.
Big flight.
Nope. Alright, another not one. Please send that to jail.
So you managed to exactly see one drop of that sweet honey mead fall out of the opening to this wineskin that you were just handed with the hopes of booze, and it misses your tongue and falls to the dirt 10 feet below you.
Alright, I think I will need an acrobatics check for this because I am doing a barrel roll to come around and throw the flask back at you.
Actually, you don't need a dex check because that counts as combat movement.
That's just acrobatics.
No.
No,
It's
that's a
attack.
roll to hit
Oh.
with a disadvantage.
So roll again.
Okay.
I'm keeping that roll. I like it.
Nice. 18 and 19.
Sure, armor class. What's your plus 2?
For
Okay, it counts
non-strength,
as it counts as a thrown weapon. You're proficient because it's a simple weapon. It's a rock.
it's a rock, so I'd get my plus 12 melee strike.
My AC is 16.
Oh.
This is irrelevant.
It's ranged.
Ranged. Oh, I don't have any numbers for my ranged.
Okay, well, it hits then, and roll 1d4.
That would
It would
be
have
a
a
2.
it would have a gasket at the top in order to keep the cork in, so it's going to hurt.
That's a
That was
2.
a 2.
So you get smacked hard in the face with
Wisp falls off me.
Oh,
Like that.
nothing fell off,
Yay me.
but so you get knocked, yeah, and Wisp, you're staggering for a second, but you're okay and you don't fall off.
Sweet.
Or fall over, rather. You're just kind of and trying to keep making it towards the tavern. You take 2 damage as your flask is returned as you see this really cool barrel roll maneuver. They turn around with a very angry look on their face and chuck it at you and smack you right here in the cheekbone with it.
slap.
Your face is now throbbing and you're drunk.
I take it's still cool, so I put it to my face, and I'm like, shake it, and I'm like, but I could go to reach in my bag for another one, but I see the tavern right there, and I'm like, your drink's on me, my bad, I handed you the wrong one.
I kept flying. I just barrel rolled and hucked it.
Yeah, we call that combat maneuvers, and that was an attack roll. That wasn't. There's no acrobatics for that. So, you all are watching this play out, by the way.
Yeah, we saw that.
You would have had to be dead 3 days to not see that.
Right. Right.
Calora snatches the skin,
It was a pretty good shot.
goes to take a drink, and hucks it back because, damn it, no alcohol.
Well, Vernon, these are the people you've fallen in with this time. And Aspen seems to have fallen in
He's
with.
a little crazy now.
I mean, I only just... Dude, you don't even know what I was doing in my last life before I got spawned here in that mushroom person land.
You were a mommy in your last life.
I know. I know this. They don't. Oh, that hurt.
Well, you told them about it.
I said there was a possibility. Didn't quite come up. You do not have to pick that up for me, thank you, Pudgy.
I can't reach it. I was trying. There you go.
Sometimes things just go sideways.
Right?
So,
I was just thinking of how in character of you.
Right?
Now,
That was Aspen's thing from
so
the
we
very
have
beginning.
one staggering in the doors to the tavern, and as you walk in the tavern, you're rubbing your face obviously and holding this, trying to keep it cold. You flew in a few minutes later, and they just set you up with an ale at y'all's usual, what was your usual table, the last table you sat at next to the hearth. They know you're coming. They direct you very politely, two very nice young barmaids, grab one to each side, who said, "Come with us, dear," and they sit you down very nicely in a chair with arms on it at one end of the table.
Hey, Aspen. I know
I'm
you
gonna-
don't look old enough to drink. I also know you are old enough to drink, and after the events of the day, you probably deserve it. So it's on me. What would you like?
Honeysuckle mead. Do they have a lovely honeysuckle mead here?
I'll certainly
Not
find out.
This time of year, it's winter.
Oh, we went. I did
Oh.
not know what season we were in.
How about mulberry wine?
Mulberry wine sounds good.
Two mulled mulberry wines. And barley tea.
And looks up. What about the rest of you?
Grog.
Good.
Your
Frog.
loss.
Something strong.
By the way, what do you look like?
Oh yeah, what do you look like right now there, Ronan?
Oh yeah.
Face.
It matters.
Oh, we should
Yeah.
do character descriptions for you.
Yeah.
So, finally in the tavern, able to get a better feel on this person after they pull their hood down. Why don't you tell them what they see?
You see about a 5'7", 5'8", medium-sized fetchling, changeling style rogue.
What do you
We'll,
look like
only
today?
we'll only see whatever you look like today. We won't be able to tell.
Yeah,
You're a
but
changeling, so what did you make yourself look like this
That's
morning?
what I'm saying. I'm about
Fetchling?
5'8", fetchling, rogue, black and green robes with the royal insignia on it from the Queen's Royal Council. A little younger than what you would expect, about 17 because of a curse. Black hair, gray skin, kind of palish, green eyes, and pointed ears. Like typical fetchling ears.
So, a little bit more gray than Aspen.
Yeah, you're
I'm
more.
more of a lavender.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm more gray, like pale gray.
Definitely some kind of faking. You're not really sure what. Every now and then, because you're
Presents as
teens.
fetchling.
Yeah.
You're pretty sure that they're male. And every now and then, it seems like something will shift just a little bit in their appearance.
Having issues with your magic, buddy.
It's not your magic, it's puberty.
Well, I
Oh.
like, I don't know, what was it, 13 years younger than I was originally?
Hey, at least we get to try to do it over. Whatever
is-
it might be.
I don't get past that 30 years old, then after that, I
You
start
try
all
living
over.
till 25.
I did. And then I got sent back to 17.
I mean, to be fair, Lovey, those are kind of everybody's golden years, so
I wouldn't worry too much.
Yeah. At least we get our golden years over and over again.
Louder.
Golden years my ass. That's when everything's going wrong.
I mean, at least you don't have to continuously do puberty over and over again. You're already halfway through it at 17.
Yeah, but not quite enough that he wouldn't
In
have
all
to get
your
a,
studies,
get,
did you
get a
never
handle on
run
his...
across the concept of karma?
Well, I am a necromancer. That thought did not cross my mind.
That explains everything then.
And I'm also a very young necromancer even before this went down. So,
As the
Or
histories
just a
tell
full
it.
bottle of
Yeah.
whiskey.
Yes.
The strongest available.
As the barmaid comes back
I want to hurt myself.
with the bottle,
I just want barley tea. Both
You're-
of the glasses of wine for her.
they hand them to you, and they hand her the tea.
Excellent. As soon as she walks away from the table, I switch them.
Tea her way.
As you order your liquor, they come back with what looks like a small
High
cask
five on the unison.
and a very small glass. And
I open my water skin and
no, they take the glass and they fill it and they sit it down there. Say, be careful with this, and they light a flame, like prestidigitation of fire,
Ooh.
and it shoots a blue flame this far up off of the top of that glass before they put something over top of it, put it out, say now it's safe to drink.
I have to set it on fire.
And this is what? A whiskey?
Oh, you're kind of immune to that after the day's events.
No, I'm just saying I have to set it on fire for it to be considered safe for normal people consumption.
Yeah.
For sentient life form consumption.
So you said this was a what? A whiskey?
This is the equivalent thereof, yes. It just hasn't been flavored, diluted, or caramelized.
Right.
Can I get a candle and a stick?
They hand you a couple of like candle lighting sticks, and then they point to the center of the table where the candelabras are.
Perfect. Set myself up and knock it back and
So did I ever get my grog yet?
Yes, your grog arrives about the same time as the tea and the wine. They actually bring you a cup of coffee, Wisp.
But I wanted meat. Where's my meat?
They go back out. They come back out with me. They look at, what are you having, miss? You seem better off than him. Make sure he gets all the coffee, will you all? Can't have him walking out like this. The council will have my ass.
He walked in like this. It's fine.
Exactly, if I serve him booze, I'm a dead man.
I'm impressed everybody keeps calling you miss with that mustache.
They don't know how to tell Satyr.
I love it.
They're assuming the whole skirt thing means woman. Regardless of whether or not you have a top on.
Some mulled wine and a mead refill, and I just unfurl my wineskin.
I'm tiny cup by tiny cup, lighting it, dousing it, pouring into water skin.
I hand you one of the mugs you bought me.
Every third or fourth tiny cup, I knock back.
You can do one of those per round.
I'd
Around
like
a
to order
six.
biscuits, butter, honey, and jam.
And
I
ask
need
for
comfort
one
food
drink.
too after all of this.
Yeah, I've noticed the people seem to be kind of stepping wide of you guys as of late.
There's a lot of whispers and sideways glances.
Yeah, well, as it turns out,
I'm
the gods
famous.
decided to stick me with a party of brutal people.
I'm famous.
Notorious is really the word we would use around here. Honestly,
Infamous?
both of you. Notorious, infamous. Yeah, sure.
Just to gauge the room again, I'm gonna throw my wings open. Just
A couple people roll their eyes at you.
okay.
You hear somebody doing none of that.
What, a bird can't stretch?
Not with them gestures you can't. You notice that the person who this is coming out of is about 10-foot half-orc with a very big club.
I
I
flex
pull-
my wings again.
I pull my badge from my druidic order off of my cloak and I hold it up. I haven't even stopped looking at my biscuits. I just hold it up. She's with me. They're all with me. Leave them alone. Then stick my badge back on my cloak.
You watch as you hear the creaking of their hand into that club as they just keep their eye trained on you. Don't say a word.
I won't get up and start a fight, but I do take a point to every little bit or so. I am making sure the musculature of my wings gets good and stretched.
And I've got my hand on the hilt of my sword, and I'm just kind of.
How many shots in are you?
Let's say I'm about 4 shots in and have just gotten distracted with stretching wings and filling water flask.
Mm-hmm. From big cup now.
Mm-hmm.
Drinking it. You filled a big cup.
Yeah, they bought me 2 glass mugs from the other tavern, and I have them with me, and now they're using one.
Okay, I need you to roll a constitution check, or a fortitude save.
For lighting that much on fire at once?
No,
No, just
drinking that much.
No, they're putting it in their wine stand.
27.
Every 3.
every 3 or 4, they were going to knock one back. So yeah, it still
I
counts.
just admitted to taking 4 shots.
Mm-hmm.
27.
You're starting to blur. You're watching the liquor start to spill a little bit. They're overfilling the cups a bit. You've actually almost caught your feathers on fire twice.
That's fine. They're singed. Whatever. I'm not in a mood to care.
So
Nope, you're kind of numb.
the being that's getting upset about them flaunting their wings and stuff, and is
Half-orc.
staring at the half-orc, would they recognize my order from the queen? So they wouldn't recognize my authority if I were to try to talk to them?
No, you're
Evermist was never under the queen's authority.
Nope.
Yeah.
The Evermist didn't even exist prior to the cataclysm.
The only person who kind of has almost authority in this room, and it's basically the authority granted by reputation of my druidic order, is me.
Okay.
And even that, I could only literally push so far. It's not like I have actual judicial authority here.
No.
Alright.
Just a
The
matter
council does.
of respect. Oh no, I was a night watch for a long time, so people know me and respect me, but that's it. That's what we're living on right now, folks.
And down from my shoulder, I am going to strap my my whip to the latch on my belt that has a little bit more easy access. Just in case somebody acts a fool. I won't get up and I'm not going to say anything further, but in case somebody wants to act a fool.
Alright. You just sitting there drinking and helping them?
Yeah, I had one of those small shot glasses.
You're fine.
And
At
I'm,
least for now.
and I'm
You're
sitting
mixing
here with
liquors.
Ron. I actually, you know what happened to Az with Siri?
No, everybody, like I said, the whole party kind of split up. And I tried searching for everybody, and you're the first person I've seen
Okay.
in I don't know how long.
I wouldn't know as with my
40
occultism,
years,
but can I
50
roll for a
years?
Siri?
Actually, they were both sorcerers.
Oh. May I?
You can try. Determine whether or not they did anything of note.
Yes! Yes, that would be a nat 20 for a 24.
You have brief mention of them at one point or another helping in miscellaneous things attached to Aspen. You're not sure good or bad. It's very, very vague in all of the occult documentation.
I'm just happy there's names I recognize. I know something! Woo!
You can numbers better than some.
So after I finish my
Some.
grog, I order
Claim on all the
a shot or two of what Kalora had.
I just pass a shot over at request, like,
Is it
What
pre-lit or do I
flask
have to
is
light it?
no, you're watching me, like, light, then boof.
Okay. So I'll cover it after it's passed to me.
Fair enough. And yes, your comfort food does finally arrive. Anybody else order anything? You ordered meat. There's a meat platter. Literally, it's like deli meat sliced up on a platter, and it's like summer sausage arranged somewhat reasonably.
Full Lego ham.
I'm rolling a fortitude check to ignore that.
I'm
meat.
drunkenly burying my face in it and trying to eat it, but you know it's kind of hard because I'm drunk. So it's kind of like swimming around in the food, just, you know.
I find this amusing and start just holding pieces above your mouth.
I'm making a point to look at the honey butter and jam and not the meat that he's eating. Trying real hard just to keep that smell from like getting me.
A leg of lamb seared dark.
Because you're snap.
Lamb. I changed my mind.
Leg of lamb, dried out.
That's what I was
Burnt
thinking.
on the
like
outside.
a mutton joint.
Poor Viridia is also a vegetarian.
I'll take a baguette and a nice.
Cheers.
I'm
Friend does
totally asking for a
preserved butter.
reassignment after this.
I ordered bread with preserves and butter.
They have that out in a matter of moments. Literally, I mean, it's bread, jelly, and butter. That takes no time at all to produce.
And
meat
poke
takes
you and
about-
ask for some of your cranberries.
Meat
Ooh, I like
shows up
cranberries.
about the meat platters show up in about 10 minutes.
Mm.
I pull out my nut and berry rations and dump them into some sort of receptacle on the table, even if it's like a napkin,
You find an empty goblet.
and place it between the two of them. There's cranberries and walnuts and nuts and berries.
I just
For
dump that
rations.
out onto my thing and then hand it to you without touching the inside.
Oh, thank you guys. That was very thoughtful.
Meat hands didn't touch it. You're welcome.
I appreciate your thoughtfulness. I truly do. I truly do. So,
Some of them are candied.
I guess we have choices to make from here on out. I mean, I could go back to my order and request a new assignment, but if I'm being totally honest, it seems that you are the party that the gods have put me with. So, there's that. What do we want to do, guys? I mean,
Well, I need a new crew to help me kind of do my search, and I can also help you guys explore and do any odd jobs that you guys want to do also.
To the tower!
Do you want the honest answer or the safe answer?
well, how about everybody throw their shit on the table and let's see what pans out?
Right?
I'd like to make a fool of the idiot standing behind me staring me down, but would be happy to move further elsewhere.
Let's go find
I
the
don't know
tower.
what all prestidigitation can do, but when she says that, can I prestidigitation a wreath of flowers around his head, a lei around his neck, a belt of flowers around his feet, also
You
bracelets
could
and
technically-
anklets around his wrists and ankles?
This is going to take you a multitude of jobs. Pick one. Each one's a casting. You can get away with 3 in a round.
Okay, I want to do the crown, the anklets, and the bracelets.
Thank you.
He just kind of looks smugly, keeps giving you the stink eye, laughs at that, picks one of the flowers, eats it.
Well, hibiscus, I did my best. You won't feel great in about 30 minutes.
Appreciate you. I won't draw my own weapon, I promise. I've caused enough trouble.
This week, we might cause more trouble later, even I can admit that.
I guarantee he lifts his weapon towards me, I will not hesitate.
Well, don't die.
Viridia.
Well, don't die. Do again.
I've got
So,
no patience to suffer fools today.
Oh, I feel you on that.
Oh, hey, Viridia, you would know that this is actually the proprietor's husband, who is a veteran to the guards, and is now just the doorman for his wife's establishment. And,
I didn't harm him.
no, but you've totally seen him break a bear with his bare hands.
And now he's a pretty, pretty princess.
Who can break a bird with his bare hands?
Absolutely. We're not sexist like that.
He'd have to catch me.
Don't underestimate that orc. You have a ceiling above you. And he's 10 foot tall.
Hey. No starting fights in town. I have to come back here eventually and negotiate for us later.
I said I wouldn't draw my weapon.
You know, there's a whole lot of actions well below drawing your weapon that could still be considered, how should I say, antagonistic.
He's the one who raised his voice at me. He's lucky that I like his old lady, or I wouldn't be tipping.
Did you guys notice how strange we are here? I mean, not me. I've been here all my life. But you guys? Look around. It's mostly wood elves over here. Most of you kind of seem more than a little strange for these parts.
You know that angry eagle, like, spread wings and shudder your feathers?
Yeah.
That is the expression that you get out of Kalora. That
Barley tea, dear?
moral.
Roll a constitution check. The difficulty has just gone up because that was a glass.
Oh.
What's it say?
Please put it in prison.
Is it another natural one?
Oh, God!
As they shudder their wings and do this, they fall off the bar stool. And abruptly, the bouncer walks over. And
Don't touch me, I'll leave myself.
You're quite incapable of getting up.
Don't touch me.
You're
Don't
also
touch
not
me?
very capable of speaking.
Well, that's what
It's a hello.
That's what's trying to come out of my mouth is don't fucking touch me, and I start stirring. I don't want to be touched. I don't know that he can't hear me saying don't touch me. I'm at the mercy of my party to understand that this is a distressed bird.
They said don't touch
What's
me.
your armor class?
20.
Put her under the table. She'll be okay.
Let me know when it's my action.
As his reaction to this, because he is the bouncer and his job, when you start flailing for the safety of everybody because you have a wingspan, he walks over, grabs a sap, clocks you in the temple,
Ooh.
and you take 16 to the head in one shot.
Okay.
And pretty much,
I'm
what's
up.
your hit point max?
47. That's not more than half my hit points. I'm up.
No, you're not up, but you're a little bit more sober, and you realize you're acting a fool.
I'll
I
see
wild shape
myself
into a
out.
puppy.
After I've finished my food, leave me alone.
I wild shape into a puppy. As soon as I wild shape into a puppy, I start wiggling my tail and doing the tongue thing. I lick the guy who just clocked Kalora and start going between his feet. And then I walk over and I start licking Kalora. And basically being as cute a fucking puppy as I possibly could be.
Is there a
I'm this
performance
adorable little collie puppy. What?
somewhere? Yeah, there is. Go ahead and roll performance.
Performance.
For distraction.
Nope, performance.
Performance!
Yeah, well, she performed as a puppy.
I don't have calm emotions. I'm trying to figure out ways around it.
This will also determine how good you got the puppy
Oh,
smell.
fucking beautiful. Is that a 19? That's a goddamn 19. Yeah!
Plus whatever your performance bonus is.
Yeah.
That's copyrighted.
21. Not if you sing it.
Okay, fair enough.
Hashtag not sponsored.
Well, actually, we can't say hashtag
Hashtag-
not sponsored.
Sci-fi geek.
That one we can get away with. We are sponsored, so we can't do that.
Hashtag
You
not
only say
sponsored.
non-sponsored if you're not sponsored by the thing you just
Oh,
referenced.
okay, thanks. Did not know
I
that.
think.
Yep.
We'll go
I don't know.
with
I'm
that.
just fucking guessing.
So, yeah, you're definitely right. So, just rein it in.
So I have a question.
He gets 3 more swings in a round, so don't test him.
Except that now, he's got this cute little collie puppy who's looking super cute and is now sitting on his butt, sitting pretty, and doing the ear thing.
And he reaches down and pets you and goes, Viridia, you're adorable, and yes, you even smell like fresh puppy.
As I straighten myself, I grab one of my candied cranberries from the glass and hand it down. I figure even in puppy form, she's still a vegetarian.
Yeah.
I do shutter my wings again as I sit, but in the folding them and shuttering and like, I've had a really bad fucking day, just leave me alone kind of attitude.
Are you sitting back up in your chair now?
I am, and I'm bringing my wings in, but still shuddering with irritation.
As soon as you sit back down in your chair and kind of get like most of the way settled, like 3/4 of the way settled, I jump into your lap and curl up.
Okay, you're cute. I'll pull out some more berries from my rations.
So,
It's wild change, but berries bad for dog.
If it was a real dog, I wouldn't be giving it berries. It'd be eating lamb.
as
It'd be
I'm watching all
begging
this,
for lamb.
I take back my 3rd shot.
And now you get to roll a fortitude save.
Aspen
Yeah, I
got a
knew that
second
was
glass
coming.
of wine just sitting here watching all of this.
Hey man, you know what they say, just roll with it.
Oh, by the way, you should also, because it's been very hard for you to find booze in your travels,
Fortitude, you said?
this is the first drink you've had in your entire life, so yes.
No?
Well,
Drink
in her
yesterday.
entire life as a 12-year-old, yeah.
I
Drank
drank
yesterday.
Oh,
I drank
yeah, no,
yesterday.
that's true. She did. She drank in the cave, too.
And she's probably still a little buzzed for that
Oh,
beforehand.
no. Nat 1 with the +7, so 8 on my fortitude.
I got a 17 with my fortitude, a 10 plus 7.
Good news.
Why
You
am I
had been
following
drinking the whole way out of the cave.
Neither did I.
No, but you were slamming something much harder in much larger quantities, and that was your second one.
No, she gave me some of hers.
Yes,
That's
but
what I
it's
was
the
drinking.
quantity, and
Oh,
that
yeah,
was their
she was
second
drinking-
save, so the difficulty was amplified.
Natural.
Yeah,
You're still kind of screwed. You're pretty sure you're good.
cool.
Your diplomacy alone would be enough to tell you that you shouldn't drink enough.
I am now a napping, farting puppy in her lap. Napping, farting.
That's what I thought you said. And yeah, it turns out that even though they're not toxic to you because you are wild-shaped, they still give the puppy gas. I need you to, how would you...
Roll as an attack.
No, there is something
Or
that I
wisp
need
it
to...
would be.
Well, no.
It's not an attack because you can't take damage for a fart.
You can't from smell.
Scritch, scritch, scritch. Wave, wave, wave. Scritch, scritch, scritch.
No, we can't do it from that, but I need to borrow your character sheet for a second.
I mean, you could roll for the fart to go from, gaseous to liquidous.
I was just say it could roll damage if you end up getting if it's so wild you throw up.
Right.
Which save is it?
Like it's
Freeze
just
out
so.
both ends.
I need you to make a reflex save.
A reflex save.
Yep.
Eight.
I mean, to be fair, your belly was just, messed up earlier in the
You
cave
said
and
reflex.
relaxing, so it'd be funny if it both ends.
Ooh, +9 on reflex. So 17.
In the middle of your napping and tooting,
And we were napping and tooting.
and then one was a
snoozing
little
to the
juicy,
grooving.
and you just move down off of their lap before it ends up juicy all over their lap. Cranberries.
I do look a slight bit embarrassed, tuck my tail right between my legs and run outside to potty. Like a good puppy.
Can't give the dog meat. Otherwise would.
But cranberries? Really?
That's
You went
what-
from meat all the way to cranberries?
That's what I
Nobody
have.
saw you.
Oh, good.
That's what I have in my rations. I packed.
But you notice as the dog is leaving because you heard him. they go up.
Little collie puppy.
Well, anybody who's ever had to fart and been running at the same time knows that it will actually go and
So I noticed.
a
this,
puppy
right?
pace, and there's a couple people going as they go by.
So I noticed this, right?
Yes,
All right. You said I was eating sliced meats.
yes.
Okay, I'm gonna lift my head up and have sliced meats dangling off my long fangs, and I'm gonna start laughing, and all you're gonna see is the meats going.
God, I love this group.
And Aspen, how was your?
I hit a 17 with my save.
You've got a pretty good buzz starting.
I'm only on my second glass.
Yeah.
Oh, I
There's
thought you were
only
only on your
wine.
first glass of wine.
No.
No, I'm on the second.
Then
With as many rounds as we've had bantering with each other, I'd be on my second glass.
you can sip a glass of wine for that time. Yeah. So that being the case, yeah, you've got a pretty good buzz going on. You're watching this whole thing go down.
I should be close to sober by now. I did drink a lot. To be fair.
And you haven't touched your coffee yet.
What? The hell? Oh yeah, I'm
Just
eating.
been feeding you meat.
You buried your face in a pile of meat and ignored your coffee.
I can honestly see it happening.
And
Probably the fluffiest.
as the
bird.
dog has run out and the catkin is flapping their meat in the wind, as it were,
Gotta be like.
Herbert. You actually try to make it match the speed of the puppy run.
Me laughing, just going.
We are going to take our first break, and we will be back, or we're going to take a break, and we'll be back in a little bit.
Transition.
No.
Alright, I'm gonna go start that oven.
And we are back to a time of puppies and drunkenness.
Drunk 12-year-olds.
A buzzed 12-year-old currently.
And an okay 17-year-old.
Yeah, you've been on the ship for at least a couple of weeks, and I guarantee you've had a drink since then. They serve drinks to people
Can we
15
make an
over.
announcement that we do not support the intoxication of minors?
Without parental supervision.
Yeah, hang on here. We do not actually support the intoxication of minors.
On the other hand, this character is actually over 60 years old, so they can drink.
Touche on that.
Viridia was very clear about this. Anyway, getting back to the story at hand. Back to puppies and booze and...
And a happy little lapdog taking a shit outside.
As you finish off that poor bush and realize that there's nobody to clean up the puppy pile,
I went where no one would step in it.
no, they won't step in it, but it is actually one of those bushes that is quite frequently used by the local people to do the same thing you just did,
Well, then nobody will mind.
until they step in it.
The ones
You notice it starts raining. Just a little, a light sprinkle, sort of like the fog's starting to condense a little more than usual.
I take my puppy tongue and I go,
It's like me catching snowflakes.
And you are quite inebriated. The meat is helping you sober up a little bit.
I think I'm gonna reach over and try to take a drink of my coffee.
It's bitter. It's like a very, very heavy, dark concept. Imagine Cuban coffee without the sugar.
Alright, so I'm gonna chug my coffee. Like, how much coffee is in the cup?
It's a flagon.
Oh, there goes drinking it all in one drink.
You gotta swallow it all down, but yeah, no, they're trying to make sure that you gain some bearing here.
Alright, I'm gonna chug my coffee.
It surprisingly goes down relatively well, and things start getting clear within about 10 seconds. Start sobering up, and you're pretty sure there was something else in there aside from coffee.
Alright.
You also have this ungodly urge to relieve yourself.
Alright. In that case then, I think I'm going to get up and find the loo.
I come trotting back inside. Jump back onto Kalora's lap and curl up.
You now smell like wet puppy.
I'm fine with it. I've smelled like worse things.
The entire room, well, the table, kind of smells like wet puppy, even over top of the meat.
So it smells like wet puppy meat and poo in here?
It smells like wet puppy farts and booze in here.
God, it's such
And
having
meat.
a super sense of smell.
Right?
Yeah. It has its advantages, but
This case is smoked.
the meats and everybody's meals arrive, and you notice as the sun sets and the day winds down to its end, and some of the druids from the grove and the local workers start filtering into the tavern. Some of them are muttering obscenities about so many bloody refugees. Others are quite happy at the prospect of new hands to help rebuild.
I'm going to remain in puppy form for the time being.
Did you keep your horns, by the way?
No.
Figured it out.
Antlers. They're not.
I'm scratching a
That
puppy.
is not
in
a
the-
bomb going off, that is the rest of food.
Pizza!
Is shirt on? Yes.
And... Okay, so Azure, what are you doing?
Going back to P2.
Well, currently, the one bathroom in the building is occupado.
I discover that and just lean against the door frame.
I'm gonna.
How much have you had to drink? If you had to give a rough estimate in liters, gallons, cups, pints,
Well, like,
bottles of wine.
only was a quarter of the way into the 2-liter flask before I made my smiley face in the snow. So like 2 liters probably.
Well, I need you to roll a fortitude save. And for once, wearing that tartan is doing you a favor if you fail.
Where is the 44?
Top of the page.
15 plus 11 is where's 26.
You're starting to dance a little bit. You know that weird aching, but you just don't have any outlet? Yeah, you're there.
Can I burst out of the bathroom?
Do you want me to turn the oven off?
Yeah.
I don't know,
Cook
can
third
you?
pizza.
I wanna burst out.
Oh
of
yeah,
the-
cook the third pizza.
So
I got it. Come sit.
I wanna burst out of the bathroom and be like, "Oh my God, who farted cranberries?" And then walk over to the table and sit back down.
The druid, and I go in the bathroom.
Were you standing on the left or the right side of the hallway?
The side the door doesn't open into.
That's why I was asking. So, yeah, the door comes flying open, and you see this, and then go about your business. And yes, this echoed through the entire building.
Viridia just wags her little tail. Dum, 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 dum.
I try easing it with some like walnuts.
She sniffs the walnuts and puts her head up.
Offers another handful of cranberries.
She ignores the cranberries now too. She has
I
learned her
think
lesson
a
on
piece
that.
of meat in front of her face.
She's a vegetarian.
She's in puppy form, so she'll eat it.
That's cruelty. I legit
That
like
smells good,
smack
though.
at your hand.
So, would I have any like specific dried fruits on me from my travels?
You have about 2 weeks worth of rations
I
on
mean, she
you.
did just eat a whole
Like,
thing before.
I wouldn't have any bananas or
She's
anything.
probably
You're
full.
carrying hard
Do I
time
need to roll to hit to
rations.
smack Aspen's hand with the meat in it?
Yeah, actually you do.
That's cruelty.
What's your armor class?
Mine?
No, Aspen's.
Aspens.
My AC is a fucking measly 16.
Does
Not
a
bad for
29
a
hit?
Yeah,
Ow.
it is.
And that's a 1d4 unarmed strike, yep?
Yeah. If you're planning on doing damage.
That's a whole 1 point of damage if she takes any.
Well, were you trying to hurt her or just knock her hand away?
Oh no, it was a. How dare you! Viridia's a vegetarian!
Just smacking it away.
Okay, so your hand stings, but there's no actual like damage or anything like that.
Okay.
No, that was it.
You're pretty sure she could have broke your hand if she hit you any harder.
I just took a bunch of hot
Because
coffee.
I'm still Viridia, even if I am in puppy form, I sit up briefly, I reach my head over and I grab a biscuit off of like where my plate of biscuits and honey butter was.
I
And I-
guide it back with her.
Grab the biscuit and
So I was gonna pull the plate.
I
closer to
grab
Viridia.
a knife full of the jam and
No thumbs.
put a little jam on your biscuit for you. Very protective of Viridia.
So somebody about 20 minutes or so later, someone walks up. One of the barmaids walks up. So, who's paying tonight?
Oh, what are we running at?
Well, let's see. That's 10 gold for the keg. And bread and cheese will be another 5 silvers total for all of it. Plate of meat will be another 3 silvers. Plus
I got it.
drinks, plus looking the other way while you get 12-year-old alcohol in my building.
I got it.
I'm
I was
gonna.
gonna say I could get it.
I
I
got
was gonna
it.
say I can give him 20 gold.
I put
Got
5
it.
in myself.
I drop a platinum on the table.
All right.
Well, that covers the keg.
Yeah,
it's
platinum's
a
only
10
10
to
gold.
1
Oh, it's a
conversion.
10 to 1. Oh, so I drop.
It'd be like 2 platinum total.
Yeah, I put.
Well,
Yeah,
plus
I
look
put-
the other way. Is like 5
I put
gold
3
minimum.
platinum on the table, and we'll and
So
that,
like
I'll drop 4 platinum on the table.
that.
Well, that's one option. You're welcome to go that route.
I'm putting 5 gold on top of the 4 platinum.
Or 3.
So
I unwild shape. I look at the barmaid and I
Do you
say,
get off my lap first?
Yes.
Oh,
Sorry. let me rephrase.
how drunk are you? No, wait, that's right. You weren't
I don't
drinking.
drink. I hop off of Kalora's lap. I unwild shape. I look at the barmaid and I say, she's not 12. She's older than everybody in this room. And I take
Well, except for you, maybe.
No, and me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I
That
am
was
technically
only-
younger than him.
Viridian's 123.
I was 30 before the curse.
And he regenerated
And
as
you've
many
gone-
times as me.
And then,
13 you've
Years.
gone back 13 years
So-
4 times.
but every time I get older, I go back to that age, and
Yeah.
that's where I
Right,
go.
but technically you're still that old, so you add 13, you were how old?
13 times 4 comes out to a whole 52 years.
Plus 30, so that makes me 82.
you're 82.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm older than you, and I'm probably
I'd be only
still
about
older than you.
67, 68.
Yeah, okay.
So either way, we're the 3 oldest in the room.
She's not 12, and they're with me.
And it's still going to be 12 gold for the lot. I don't know why they put so much money on the table.
I
Consider-
take 2 platinum and I hand it back to Aspen. I take 3 gold and I hand it back to Kalora, and I shove the rest of them at the barmaid.
You can keep the rest of the gold I put on the table to tell that friendly bouncer of yours to find somewhere else to stare.
Well, you're the biggest disturbance that we've had around these parts in about 6 months. He's not going to take his eyes off you no matter how much I give him.
Yeah, I just kind of put that much on the table to just pay everyone off.
I don't think it works that way around here. Evermist is a fairly quiet and law-abiding village, in case y'all hadn't noticed just yet.
After taking your current tab back, so, who wants dessert?
I'm
do,
good.
do you deal in soft cheeses?
No, I'm dealing in sweets.
Cake?
But I want some brie with cranberries and brown sugar and butter.
I pass you some of my butter and bread.
If
Well,
a
butter
bird's
separate.
beak could downturn in a pout.
You've seen the Muppets. A bird's beak can downturn in a frown. Sam.
Well, you guys, I'm gonna have to report to the Elder Council and get my next set of orders from them. Because after what just happened, I have no idea what their plans are for me. But I'm pretty sure I just botched my first mission, so there's that. And let's just hope I don't get censured for that.
I mean, we could also just fuck off.
Well, then we wouldn't be much of a party now, would we?
I mean, like a lot of us. Pack up our shit, head elsewheres, make trouble for somebody else.
I took an oath. I can see.
And I really don't know where
I mean,
my
at your graduation, didn't they basically tell you, have fun, get drunk, then fuck off?
That doesn't mean I didn't take a lifelong religious oath to my order. I mean, my assignment might have been to fuck off, and I did that, but...
So what if you fucked off extra hard?
I'm still a diplomat, so I don't know what I can and cannot go and do. I still have loyalties to my old kingdom.
Well, Ronan, how about you come and meet my grove? I've got to go report to them anyway. Come with me. Introduce yourself. And for that matter, Aspen, there's the little matter of your backfired spell and mystery, so perhaps we should take it to the elders.
Not a bad idea. Worst case scenario, we could head towards my tower.
What time is it?
It's right around early evening, just a little past sunset.
Oh, good time to visit the groves. Well, I'm going. Who's coming with me?
I guess I'll tag along.
I'll pop off my bar stool and follow.
Meow.
They're going
Caw,
outside.
caw, Tookie, tookie.
This actually comes across the bar.
What? Brain, no thoughts.
I'm feeling more sober, so I'm gonna get up and start walking toward the door.
I'm probably gonna follow
Good
along.
news, you're not staggering anymore. You're
Yay!
actually quite awake, quite sober, and that alley looks like a very inviting place to go take a piss again.
Awesome, because that's where I was planning on going. I'm gonna pee a rune.
Well,
Not literally pee a rune.
on your way into the alley, I need you to do me a favor and roll a perception check.
Oh. Wait, dead. Nope, dead. Which one is dead?
It's raining, so...
Okay, I got 12.
And you feel something squish beneath your feet in a different texture as you start relieving yourself on the bushes.
Damn shit. I'm just gonna yell out, SHIT! Viridia!
Yeah, there's something that vaguely feels like cranberry between your toes.
Oh, Grody! That's so nasty.
You're laughing.
It's a good thing I got on
Yeah,
boots.
yeah.
I'm just saying, it's a good thing I got on boots. But I can still feel shit go through to my toes.
You described your boots as having open toes, so I don't get away with that.
So I can climb and shit.
So, yeah, you hear this from the alley as you all are walking away from the pub.
Aspen just starts losing it, laughing her ass off.
With having a super sense of smell, I'm obviously gonna notice that it was you.
I, put my hand over my mouth.
Oh, that completely changed the tone of everything.
Yeah, I'm following along.
Saying it is
So I'm going to make my way back up to the grove, the main grove, where since it's just about sundown, where the druids should be meeting for their nightly council. And as I reach the entrance of the grove, I'm going to wait patiently in that entrance area to be recognized.
Okay, so as you all actually get to be about maybe, well, you start seeing a much brighter set of torch lights as you head down the trail towards where the grove would be.
Mm-hmm.
A few of you have been down this trail before, some of you have never been, and some of you have never even seen this part of the world before.
And some of us have it memorized.
It's actually a very good, like what you would picture as being an Appalachian like forest with a trail worn down and cultivated out of the trees. All over top of you, very thick, dense foliage. And all along it seems that both fairy fire, like dancing lights, spells, and things like that are being used to illuminate it. And there are multiple torches as well. And you notice that the yellow of torch fire is very visible through the trees to the point where you can see the entirety of the grove. And you can see that there are countless makeshift lean-tos, tents, littering the woods all through here.
I quicken my pace and start to head over to the area that I would expect to be the coordination tent for this handling of the refugees.
There are countless people crammed together. There are multiple cook fires. Some of them have 5, 6 families at them. They really did pack every individual that they could possibly muster into that ship, minus 5. Mainly because they couldn't find 5 more people to stuff in there.
Ouch!
And because you're technically a dignitary, they gave you a cabin that was spaced out for 6.
Aspen poked herself following along with her sewing needle.
You hear a ouch noise as you're being followed.
It's okay. I have come to expect my party to be both undecorous and a little clumsy.
I'm tagging along from up, making a point to enjoy the broad span of my wings. I do not like being told not to stretch them.
So as you soar over top, you see there have to be hundreds of individual camps, 3 to 4, sometimes 6 or 7 or even 8 families gathered together. They've put together lean-tos, some using bedrolls, some using their cloaks as a way to create some shelter from the mild rain. But as you get closer to what would be the central part of the grove where their main fires and things are, the people are packed thick and you lose everyone in the crowd. Because aside from elves, there are some gnomes, there are a few goblins that have come in with these camps, there are everything that was allowed to live in the High Elven Kingdom or rumored to have lived in the High Elven Kingdom, every type of people represented. Seems there are a few people who obviously have demonic heritage even. Just all of them mulling about in between the fires. There seem to be a lot of very sullen faces and people reaching out and it'll be alright. It's a very somber scene. Children are being fed first. Adults keep ushering children to go eat more and sitting back, obviously hungry.
Since
You can only make so many good
before
bears.
Alabaster had taken off, I had grabbed, as much jerky as I could stuff into my rucksack. At each of the fires where I see children being ushered forward for more food, being that aggressively protective of children, I'm stopping and giving some good quality jerky to their parents. Like, good on you, mate.
How much are you giving away?
I have 8 rations worth of jerky alone. I'm giving every bit of it away.
Same. I've got 2 weeks worth of trail rations as I make my way through the camp area and into the inner grove where the elders are.
And I'm looking for someone particularly in need. I have an extra bedroll.
I'll give away all of my rations.
I have some from my travels too that I can give out.
I
My
have 2
last
weeks
ration
worth.
is candied fruit. I'm gonna.
Or I
give you
had
that.
2 weeks worth, I give it all away.
I kind of just respawned with nothing, right? So would I have had that at this point?
You would have been able to, well, you haven't gone shopping yet.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
You have money.
Yeah, I just haven't. We
I got
we were in the
distracted
mushroom
by
town. We didn't go
running.
shopping.
What are we doing up next?
Except for your
We're
clothes.
Yeah.
helping
What
out
about you?
the adults at all these refugee fires.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are making sure their kids eat and they're sitting back.
Okay.
And we're sharing our rations with the adults to make sure they get fed too.
You have nothing to share?
Do you have anything to share?
Oh yeah, I've got a total of 10 rations, but I'm gonna share 8. I keep 2 for myself. I've got
Yeah.
2 handheld mirrors, like mirrors with handles. So I'm gonna give 1 mirror with a handle to them and 8 comb.
Mm. I'm looking for someone particularly in need. I have an extra bedroll.
It takes you about 5 minutes or so to find somebody.
Cool.
Older woman, actually.
Nice.
It's
It's a nice
I
deer
have
hide
2 rations that I can spare.
bedroll.
Matter of moments, it's all gone. It's like, it is literally like trying to spit into the void and fill it up.
The bad part is, I almost did something and then I realized I was on a completely different character.
Oops!
So
Well,
I was. Yeah.
good call. So there is one catch though. As you're handing out the very last of your rations, Aspen,
Oh.
a middle-aged elven woman said, wait, why aren't you the spitting image of that Aspen? Couldn't be.
Don't do it, don't do it.
Oh my god.
Yep, that's me. Fuck, I not won that.
Yeah, you did. I saw that.
Rolled your deception before I got a chance to ask for it, huh?
Oh yeah.
Good.
Well, you know that's Aspen's reactions. Dice did not
Listen.
like me.
Really? Hey, folks.
Can I roll for
I am just
intimidation real
handing
quick
out
to try
candy
and get
fruit.
them to-
Hold on, one at a time. We'll
I
all
mean,
have a
there's no
reaction first.
yeah, they get the reaction beforehand.
Yeah.
Hey, folks. Look who we got here. A real celebrity.
Oh fuck.
She's the one that made the queen and all of her closest friends, including herself, keep disappearing. The only reason that they know is Ronan. He keeps on respawning at ground zero of the place where the spell was cast. So he,
When she says this, what's the crowd doing?
they're all starting to loom in. Some of them look angry, some of them look terrified. You see some people reaching into pouches and grabbing odd things.
Dear God. Do I have a vanish me spell?
I whip my cloak around and I pull her kind of sort of into my cloak and in front of me and I hold her shoulders.
Kill me, I'll
Roll
respawn.
society.
Kill me, I'll respawn somewhere else.
Oh god.
Alright, I'm gonna attempt to. Can I see this? Can I see it happening? Can I find it happening now that I'm on the ground?
Oh, you can see all of this happening. There's about 500 people here
By the
who
way-
are all looming towards this 12-year-old.
All of these are
Cool,
wrong
can I
because
use
for
the
some
fact that I
reason
can
these
fly to
sheets
get
all
to her
ended
and
with
take
zero
her
in the
up
main
off the
spot.
ground?
I didn't write
Not
that down.
happy.
I
Just
can't
roll
get
and
there
add the
that
bonus
fast.
because I don't actually know. But what did you tell me to write?
Society.
Society. My society would not have been one of my better scores, but I do have a +2.
So roll d20.
Yeah. I just wish it didn't say 0 on all of those. Numbers are 0.
What's the hottest speed this first?
Of course I am
8
nothing.
+2 is 10.
10.
I can make a scene.
You are coming to realize it wasn't that hard of a roll, honestly. You realize in a relatively short order that These people are all fresh off of a boat,
Mhm.
and they don't care who you are.
Doesn't matter. I keep walking towards the center of the grove with her right in front of me. Holding on to her.
I'm making a concerted effort to get to them.
You're still in the air, right?
You make it
You can
almost
drop down right
I'm
now.
back
20
in the
yards
air.
Ooh.
before it's a wall of people.
Can I do
And they are dense.
Can I do a diplomacy check to use my power since they were on the ship with me
Convince them.
to try to
You can convince them, go for it.
Would that be
Let's hear your
diplomacy or
convince.
deception or what? is it?
Let's figure out, let's hear your convincing.
Yeah, you're not trying to lie to them necessarily.
Yeah,
Uh,
folks, she is with me. We will figure out what is going on. I will take care of all this. You need to let me do my job. Just back up and let me do my job. I have been in charge of you for the last few years. I've been helping you out. Just let me have some time to figure this out. I had no idea she was here. Let me figure out what we need to do with her, and we will go from there. Let me do my job, people, please.
They kind of like look amongst each other. You hear a murmur and a whisper go through the crowd.
She's under the protection of the Green Warden Druids until further notice.
I'm making a
I
hearty.
guess I should also roll it. Is that diplomacy or intimidation?
In your particular case, that's going to be intimidation. Good
Okay.
luck.
I'm beating my wings as hard as I can.
And what would mine
Ooh,
be?
ooh, does that mean
To
I
push
get
through
advantage?
the crowd.
No, over. I'm
that
not
mean-
dumb enough to try to push through.
Does that mean I get advantage
Good luck
on
getting
my
off the
intimidation?
ground. You still need a strength check.
She
Yes.
never got on the ground.
No, I did. I was on the ground feeding people.
Oh, okay.
I'm getting back in the air.
So yes, you do get
So I do get advantage?
Yes.
Nat 20,
Okay.
which would be a
Alrighty.
25.
Counting on you.
Don't look back.
Okay, that's
Right when I needed one.
8.
Right.
8.
Yeah, for not liking you, I'm doing a lot of
14.
saving.
Plus whatever your intimidation is.
And then mine was a diplomacy, right?
Correct.
10.
Yeah.
8 plus 10 is 18.
10. You push out. You watch a couple you all also see a couple bodies flying from further back the crowd as you see Kalora go up into the air.
Ugh.
There's a very small goblin gentleman with gray hair hanging on to your ankle with one hand and his cane with the other. You get back down here, whippersnapper!
I am going to reach down and like yoink, but I'm gonna football hold him because I'm not trying to hurt the refugees either. I will put you down. I'm not in the business of hurting people.
Could you roll just...
Wisp, get Aspen to the grove immediately.
I need you to roll an intimidation check. As what you just did to him, kind of terrifying.
28.
You more than doubled it. Yeah. I rolled a 10 and he only gets a +4. Fragile little goblin.
I'm gonna put you down safely. I'm in no means of hurting people.
He's grasping his chest.
Fuck. I'm gonna have to let the goblin have a heart attack while I try to save Aspen, because that's who I'm beating wings for.
Bring him into camp with us.
Yeah, I'm carrying him securely. I'm not meaning to drop him or hurt him.
Yeah, as you all finally manage to push through this crowd, be your diplomacy, your intimidation, where are you in all of this? You weren't helping or sharing with anybody or anything like that, so
It's kind of on the sidelines watching.
then you're just seeing the whole thing. And Wisp, where are you through all this? Were you moving with people or just sitting back?
I'm gonna try to stealth and kind of like walk through the crowd to try and get out of the crowd.
Actually, you're gonna need to roll an acrobatics check for that one.
As soon as I manage to make eye location of Aspen, that's where I'm headed.
Aspen's pretty much towards the central, what you would recognize as being the Elder's Huts. You've delivered messages there before.
I'm beating my wings pretty hard, so you'd hear me coming, Viridia.
I've ceased to be surprised by Kalora.
Carrying a tiny old man.
Yeah, as you hear Kalora coming up, you hear, oh, my trigger! Oh my god!
And I'm like,
Even that doesn't surprise me.
I'm attempting to hand him to a mage or something as I'm coming in for Aspen.
They're all druids, but I look at the nearest person I recognize as a healer, and I kind of like raise one eyebrow, and I'm like,
Trying to hand him off while
Already
not
on their
touching the
way.
ground.
And they're looking at, never dealt with a goblin before. Fuck me. Come on, old fogey.
Okay, I had to drop him because I'm not touching the ground as I grab Aspen and try to drop him off with a healer.
You managed to drop him off with a healer. Roll a
dropping,
dex.
dropping Aspen would be really difficult to do because I've got her wrapped in my cloak, like holding onto her right in front of me, and
As
I
a-
kind of rush her in.
You can try.
I'm gonna shout, Viridia, I'm coming in! Open up! I'm gonna grab her and run!
You look
You
up.
see me hand off the old timer and I'm,
Talons towards me.
open up, I'll get her out of here!
I do try to move out of the way in time.
17? What was that? That was an acrobatics or an athletics?
That's going to be athletics on you, and it's going to be versus your
27.
Dex? Or
reflex.
acrobatics? Reflex.
Okay,
By the way,
It's a
I got
reflex
27.
save.
By the
For you.
way, I got a nat 20.
In
For
all
what?
of this, I'm
To
flailing.
stop from walking through the crowd.
So yeah, it's a dance little sidestep type moment. It's one of those things where there's a couple places where you find yourself having to actually slide between somebody's legs in order to get out. That's why acrobatics. You trip
21.
over 2 children in the process too. It's great.
Oh good, we both rolled high, but mine's a 27.
21.
Okay. Sometimes that's not a good thing. So, to those who are watching, how close are you to this, by the way?
I am right behind her.
I need you to make a dex check or a reflex save as well. Then.
Oh, okay. I think that's a plus 11 on top of my roll. Yeah, plus 11.
Yeah, because Brennan's just a badass like that.
4 plus 11, 15.
Okay, so here's how this looks. Kalura passes off the little old man. Not a hitch. He doesn't even get a bruise or scratch on him. Good on you.
Okay.
In the process of passing the little old man off, you lose focus for just 1 second. Now, Viridia is more interested in keeping Aspen directed towards the elders because the elders would be better off to protect her than you would. And you collide with Viridia's cloak, grab hold of this, tumble over it, fall into Ronan. And all 4 of you are now a rolling ball of bodies and cloaks that just kind of lands in the middle of the hut.
Wait, me too?
Yeah,
Yes.
I collided.
Oh.
Yeah, she took all of us out. You,
Yeah.
me,
Oh.
Aspen, herself,
And they thought you were the
themselves.
The good news is nobody got
Heal
hurt.
myself up off the ground.
And nobody got hurt.
And we're in the elder's hut.
Well,
Oh, I
that's
don't
one way
think-
to make an entrance.
I was gonna say, I don't think that's how you're supposed to enter the hut.
And I've still got wings out. Using my wings and
Oh.
holding up
Yeah.
my shield, I'm going to use the Devoted Guardian to widen my stance until I know that Aspen is safe. So, wing shelter, shield.
I just stand up and brush myself off and stand there looking both exasperated and pragmatic.
As all of this happens, everything that the elder looking at the entire scene, the head elder, the grand poobah, if you will,
The Grand Poobah.
slams their staff into the ground, and all you hear is, "Enough!"
I'm not moving, I'm just holding.
Jesus.
That comes out of my mouth.
Sit, and your butt hits the ground without your control.
I immediately drop to one knee and kneel.
Fold them. Your wings go in.
Heavy
Doesn't
shudder.
work.
No, I'm not trying to unfold them. I am puffing.
Can't.
Command spell.
Another of them waves their hand. Your growls go silent. You want us to blind you as well? Compose yourself, or pay.
Still holding as protective a stance as birdly possible.
Feasibly impossible between a power word of command, a silence,
Doing my
and a
best.
paralysis.
Doing my absolute best to be defensive and protective. Though if I've been paralyzed, clinging on to Aspen.
Yes. Well, sort of, because at enough in the command to sit, you would have let go and sat. Right where you were.
Was that command to everybody or just to Kalora?
They were the only one, and anyone else who was acting aggressively.
Oh.
But I wasn't being aggressive, I was being defensive. I didn't even have my whip out.
You took an aggressive stance.
That's entirely a matter of perspective. Anyway, I'm still kneeling.
Aspen's just standing there, like very shaken, confused, and realizing how bad she really fucked up.
I make my way forward and I bow towards the elder and I introduce myself. Hi, my name is Ronan. I am one of the high councils for the missing queen
They look at you.
off the refugee ship.
Ronan, you said.
Yes.
We know who you are. And we know who you are.
I wasn't trying to cause a problem.
They just...
Not this time.
And you know how to cohort yourself better.
Not gonna relax until I'm able to relax for myself.
Won't matter. They're not letting you go anytime soon until this is done with. They are
Doing my
elders, and you
damnedest
can
to
ask Viridia how bending they aren't.
Viridia could also tell them that I will relax as soon as I'm let go.
Your Holiness. Without raising my eyes, since I'm still kneeling and I'm like facing to the ground. Do I recognize the voice of the druid who was just speaking?
Yeah, they would be the high elder to the entire grove.
Yeah, but like, what's his name?
You've only ever known him as high elder. They didn't...
Okay.
You weren't permitted to that name, basically.
High Elder, we return to try and help with the refugee situation and to, I seem to have brought people back. I didn't really intend for my first adventure to go this way. However, since it did, for which I'm very sorry, I'm here to help with the refugees. My friends are zesty, but not actually dangerous to anyone. You can let Kalora go. She'll behave. We're just here to help the refugees and to, I suppose at this point, unravel the mystery of the cataclysm, because that's where it seems everything is leading at this point. And I never even look up off the ground. I keep my eyes bowed to the ground, and I maintain my respectful one-knee kneel stance.
They look at you, look up and ask, you know that woman, girl, they can't call you a child. It's an unnatural thing.
I know that she was the most beloved of the great Queen Aurora Niverdosha.
Yes, and do you know what happened to their entire kingdom?
I do not, but I do know that it is not fair to put the fate of the entire kingdom onto the shoulders of this young woman.
Well, she did cast a spell that completely circumvented all of nature, and thus threw herself and all of her friends completely out of whack with normal time.
That may be the case, but I very much doubt it was intentional, since the curse has affected them worst of all. And the queen loved this woman above all others. Also, Silverine was embroiled in a civil war and was being attacked by the gnomes on top of that. We all know the stories. There were mind flayers. Lord knows what other horrendous tortures. We cannot lay the blame for all of that pain, suffering, and death on this one warlock. No matter how clumsy wizard, excuse me. My apologies, dear. This one wizard, no matter how klutzy she may be. We're only
Doesn't
here
always
to
backfire.
help with the refugees and to get our new orders. Well, my new orders, I suppose.
Well, that explains you. I know where you came from. Where did you find these two?
I never went in the hut.
Yeah. The four of us rolled in.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're just out there somewhere in the crowd.
Yeah. That's why they took the opportunity to.
Yeah, I'm on the
Not.
outside of the crowd, just wandering around. In stealth.
Well, the stealth was actually more to just get you through.
Yeah, I know, but I still like using stealth.
Alright, so then this is a mess. You know that.
Oh, I'm well aware. And not what I signed up for, but you told me to leave Evermist and do the best I could. And I hate to disappoint your illustrious legacy, but this apparently was the best that I could.
They pat you on the shoulder and smile. And they go, my dear, this is what fate had in store for you. We don't ever get what we hope for. I'm sure you were hoping for a grand and valorous group of comrades who would have your back, do things in an honorable manner. By the way, when was the last time that any of you
Well, a
changed
girl
your
can
clothes? Or washed your clothes?
Honestly, not since I left.
I just bought mine, so they're
The last
really
time.
fresh. 2 days old, maybe 3.
Yeah.
Oh no, yours are yesterday old.
Oh yeah, yesterday old.
I changed before I
Yeah.
got off the ship.
You're good. You are still splattered in blood.
Oh yeah, I am still covered in blood.
As are you.
I'm rather ripe.
Yes, you smell a bit musty. Where were you?
Well, there was a cave filled with mushroom people, and one of the things that we had returned here to do, in fact, was to open a diplomatic channel between us and the what are they called?
Michaeloid.
The Michaeloid Kingdom in the caves just outside this valley.
What caves?
Well, I suppose I could show you. I mean, all of our trackers know where they are, I'm sure. They're just outside Evermist, about an hour's walk down the road. There's a whole network of caves. They run through this whole region. I'm given to understand right underneath Evermist, or some of them.
Oh, that's not surprising. We never knew how to get into them.
About an hour up.
Well, there is that, about halfway between here and the next town, there is that trail that leads up to a cave, but...
That would be how. That's how we got there.
Those... Well, how did you get back in one piece?
We defended the Myconoids from the villagers who were trying to eat their children, and in return they didn't kill us.
All the elders whisper amongst themselves. Going, like, not quite sure of how to deal with that. It seems to be a mixture of, well, that's understandable. I mean, you can't let children be eaten, and you defended monsters over civilized people. It bounces back and forth between the two. They really are a druidic circle, so they're quite neutral. And this sets the entire group off to debate as to what to do about you. Because we've heard some rumors that a group recently wiped out a large number of villagers. And there were a few noble families that have put out quite the bounty.
I whispered to Ronan, I'm sorry, you had nothing to do with this. This might be a good time to back out. With the exception of Ronan, and mostly Aspen, to be honest, that would be the rest of us.
Just
group
the
I
two
was-
of you.
No. No, also Azura and Wisp.
Who are
with
they?
me. They were here the last time we came to camp.
Nope.
They were in the
never
other
been here
town.
before.
Oh.
They have
They all
never.
came
Nope.
back with us.
Evermist
Nope.
and Azura have never been,
Oh,
and
well,
nor has Wisp.
okay, so you sent me out with Alabaster and Kalora.
Yes, we saw him moving very quickly through the portal.
I'm not going to pretend that disturbing things didn't happen while I was out there. It's just that, you see, I have no authority over other adult sentience. So I did the best I could. Look, my group is entirely fucked up, and yes, entirely destructive. But what can I do?
Where's the
They
rest
are
of
who
them?
they are. I believe they were giving rations and providing care to the refugees outside.
They look at Kalora. Go get your friends, please.
Kalora, please.
Have I been let go yet?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As soon as I am able to move of my own, the feathers settle down, and the little bit of decorum that I do have does, stand up straight and give some respect. I will go find Wisp and Azura. Azzy,
So,
muttering as I leave, and
as you're leaving, say, and please try and at least make the idea of following you tempting.
Oh shit.
I'm actively searching for these two.
Okay, go ahead and roll perception. Are either of you actively trying to hide?
I am.
Yeah.
Okay, what was your stealth roll?
20, nat 20 with +2.
Alright, that was a 27 with low light vision.
Okay, you were not actively hiding?
No.
You can see Azura.
Sitting on a log, trying out the contents of the flask.
Getting drunk.
Make a quick, half landing. Wings still ready to go. Care for a lift? We've got somewhere to be.
With you always.
Wonderful. And in one talon, scoop this one up.
How much do you weigh? How big? Like, how tall are you?
We went 5'8".
Short for the
5'8".
species.
5'8", and they're large amounts of bone, hoof, and everything. We'll say they probably weigh about 185. Go ahead and roll strength.
Yep, that was a 18.
Yeah, you about manage it, but it's a hell of a load.
That's fine.
And you have no clue where Wisp is from the sky.
I'm calling Wisp.
I'm not gonna respond.
Can you
There's
hear it?
jerky in it for you.
Alright, in that case, I'm gonna respond.
Okay.
I'm gonna make fresh lamb jerky when I get back to the tavern.
Over here!
All right, make a landing with Azura, and could you two come with me as quickly as possible? We have a place to be, and I will pay for your meals for the next day.
Sounds like a trap. Wisper's very cautious, always. Sounds like a trap.
Look, they forced me to sit on my ass, and they are not nice people, but they have Viridia, so let's get our asses in motion, well, shall we?
I'm gonna start moving, but I'm not gonna be as quick as you want me to be.
Bark! Like, drill sergeant bark, move it! And I'm gonna
Okay.
roll for intimidation.
Alright. I need you to roll willpower. Or will save.
I'm fucked.
Untouched. 19 plus 11, that would be a 30.
That is your name.
Beat a 30. Meter beat a 30.
I got a 19 plus my 8, I got a 27. Like I said, that's gonna be
So
difficult.
close.
You could still crit and win no matter what, though, because them's the rules.
Mm.
Ones are always fails, 20s are always crit, or always a success, and I do it that way just so that those things are possible.
Yeah,
They both
unfortunately.
rolled
it's-
19s.
Yeah,
Their bonus is higher.
Exactly.
exactly. My will sucks.
So, in the lab, at this point, you're kind of shaken and have this ungodly urge to move faster.
Again, very protective of
But
my
you're not
people.
sure where you're moving to.
I'm making a...
Other than you can see Azura under Kalora's arm flying towards, like, the center of the mass of thickly populated people.
Yep,
You picked me back up.
Me.
Cool.
I never quite set
What's
Yellow
your,
down.
what's your standard speed?
My flying speed is... Where did it go? My flying speed would be 25 feet.
Alright, so I would be roughly about the same speed you are because you're carrying extra
Yeah, you can
weight.
keep up with me.
Yeah, and I've got 20 for speed.
I'm definitely encumbered, so I'm moving much slower.
Yeah. But, yeah,
It's not far.
you're actually dealing with difficult terrain. The people are packed in hard enough, it's difficult terrain. You've been to a metal show. You've been to the Nissan Pavilion for a metal show. You know what I mean.
Yeah. That and I'm not going to get down on all fours and, mess up my clothing. I'm too prestigious for that. I'm going to walk there. Like a little jog maybe.
All gentleman status.
Exactly. I'm not going to mess up my new top hat.
Slip between people and make everything all... Yeah.
I love you, Pudgy.
That and I have that awesome pocket watch. Can't mess that up. It's got little sapphires and everything in it. Shh.
But I will make good on paying for Wisp's meals the next day because I did offer. And
That's how I knew
did
it was a
comply.
trap.
Yeah.
That's how I knew it was a trap.
So it takes you about 3 minutes to get there. Takes you about 15 minutes to get there because you're trying to very gentlemanly weave your way through with some poise and rationality as you go through this crowd that's pretty jammed together. I mean, we're talking like mosh pit status.
I set you down at the door and brush you off.
Like Bleak 182 mosh pit or like Marilyn Manson or Slipknot mosh
Like
pit?
monolith. Like
Yeah.
monolith red sea heavy.
So like
Okay.
old fashioned, yeah, tough crowd.
Yeah.
Well, then it's gonna have a rhythm to it. Ride the rhythm.
It's a good thing I got on armor. I'm just
The
saying.
rhythm is terror and confusion, so
Uh-huh.
there is no rhythm.
Typical medicine.
At this point, I look slyly up at the High Master Druid, and I smile and I bat my eyes. Oh yes, and there is a little matter of my monthly pay. All the same.
Oh. Yes, well,
It could go in awful peel out around it.
let's see here. And they look at you. And they smile. And say, our dear sister, as someone who has graduated from the school, is no longer actually on active guard duty, we would humbly request that you, of willingness, donate the entirety of your salary, as you are capable of surviving on your own in most places, to the refugee fund that has recently popped up.
Well, why do you think I wanted my salary?
Well,
I'm down to 5 silver pieces. I can't give anything to refugees on 5 silver pieces and still feed myself.
my dear, you have eaten nothing but fruit since you were 12.
That's not entirely true. I'm rather fond of my biscuits and honey butter and the occasional glass of barley tea. Not to mention renting rooms and so forth, as I'm going to continue to need to do. Look, I'm just saying, I did exactly what I was told to do. Last I checked, I'm still a member of this order. And refugees notwithstanding, I literally cannot continue to serve if I do not have the resources with which to provide the necessary services.
Well, do you know where we could find roughly 20 tons of food?
Sure, absolutely. As a matter of fact, I do. You only need to go to the Mycoloid village. Now, they grow the most amazing...
You all walk in the middle of this speech, by the way, so right about now.
They grow the most amazing mushrooms. It's really an incredible culture. They have delectable foods and a whole new ways of growing things. The entire point of my return trip, in fact, well, initially, was simply to open trade negotiations between Evermist and the Mycoloids. So, yeah, could they provide you 20 tons of food? Give them 30 days? I'm pretty sure they can, actually.
I mean, it is a vast network of mushrooms, is what you hear as Kalora takes their seat.
Well, that's heartening. So, tell me, who are your friends?
We found them along the way. This one joined us to protect the children of the Mycoloids? Myconians?
Mycoloids.
Mycokinesians?
You actually hear one of the elders go, we couldn't call them that. It sounds so racist.
I wouldn't know what they're talking about because I just showed up.
But they spoke in mycokinesis.
So,
And if you're worried about the nobles, I'm the one that killed them.
not surprised. Still,
To be
who
fair,
are
they
you?
attacked me.
She has been here before. Kalora's flown in
Kalora's been here, but I
Yeah.
don't know who you two are.
Call me Ozzy, don't hurt kids.
I see. Well, not the first most verbose, are you?
I'm Wisp, but in the long run, I'm hungry. Is there anything to eat?
My friends do seem to be led by their most base impulses. I won't even deny that. I'm working on it.
What makes you say that? The rumors can't all be true is what happened.
I don't know what the rumors might be, but I'm gonna give it an 85% chance that yes, they are all true.
Well, we've heard everything from acts of brutality to suckling on the knuckle bones of your victims. So,
No,
wasn't
no knuckle
suckling on
bones.
I don't remember sucking.
It was a forearm bone. There was no suckling on it though.
Just gonna sit back and let my friends tattle on themselves.
Look, the one lady that I regret being harsh with, I had no means of knowing she couldn't speak.
Viridia rolls her eyes.
It's true.
I knew.
I don't want to know the details.
Oh, no, you don't.
Savage.
No,
What
no, you
incident are we
don't.
talking about?
However, Viridia just rolls her eyes when Kalora says that. I knew. I knew right away.
I'm not nearly as smart a bird as you, and we both know that.
That's true, Lord Druid. Kalora has many talents, but critical thinking isn't.
Smarts ain't one of them.
Yeah, critical thinking isn't really her best skill set. That's
they look up
true.
at you. What's 1 plus 3? Roll an intelligence check for me to see whether or not you can actually give me an accurate answer, because I know you.
While
as a
you're
player
counting
can.
on your claws.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, don't use the clear one.
No,
Doesn't
I
matter.
gave him 20.
How'd you do?
17?
How many times do you want to count?
4, at least. Because it's the right answer.
After about 5 minutes of counting and recounting, you look up, and you're welcome to give a correct answer if you choose.
4.
Wow. Does it always take that long?
Sometimes, Lord, it takes a good deal longer. She's trying to impress you.
She looks at the other, looks at the two. Is she serious? Have you ever seen this bird try to count before?
A few times.
Does it really take longer sometimes than that?
Yes.
Just to calm my mind. What's 1 plus 3?
1 plus 3, 4.
Thank you. Your intelligence score's high enough. I know I can ask you that. You're going to give me the answer. Okay. I didn't want to make it too complex for somebody who didn't have constant access to books. You know what I
Technically,
mean?
it's positive 4.
Ooh.
Oh, so you have a real education.
Education!
Well, you and so what's other than don't hurt kids? What else do you have to say for yourself? I heard some rather brutal things about you and gleefully burning bodies.
Don't hurt kids.
Yeah.
They murdered babies.
It's the gleeful part I'm disturbed by.
I was there. To be fair, there was nothing gleeful about it. It was an entirely serious process. We were asked by the Queen or Mayor, that was not entirely clear to us, by the way. There are many cultural differences between us and them. But it was asked by the Queen or the Mayor that we interrogate prisoners that they had captured during the attack on their village. I am sorry to say, absolutely none of us have any training in interrogation of any kind, and there were a lot of prisoners, so we just each took a couple and tried to get our own way to the truth. And, well, as you can imagine,
You botched
gentle
it.
creativity isn't exactly my friend's strong suit. No,
I'm
to
12.
be clear, I didn't botch it. I
No,
followed
give
my
it-
training. However, most of the people here, you know, well, I mean,
video was
Ronan had nothing to do with this. He just came in on the ship. And we didn't find Aspen until
That nice?
moments before it happened. She had very little to do with it and was totally out of context, so I think she just did what she... Okay, never mind. There's not a lot of excuses for Aspen now that I think about it. Anyway,
Was waiting for
Your
that.
video was quite diplomatic.
I did. I tried.
Well,
You were nicer to them than I
she's
ever
just spoken poorly of at least 2 of you. Would you vouch that she was diplomatic in her pursuits?
I was downright cruel, and I'd do it again.
That's
I was
Laura.
mad that I didn't kill him the first time, so I tossed him into the fire.
Ashura.
Truthfully, I didn't know the
Don't hurt
situation.
I don't see how I was cruel.
Aspen.
I intimidated, and then I turned around and I gave him something to eat for his freedom that I knew wouldn't kill him. Because I tried it first.
This is Whisper. Not entirely brutal.
Not entirely kind.
Gave him something.
We have a couple witnesses that were at that trial.
Then you know all that we're saying is
Yes,
unfortunately
but I don't know whether or
true.
not you will lie until you tell me.
It's
You
an,
made them
intellect,
eat-
it's an intellectual save. I could have been a lot more cruel.
You fed them worm shit.
To be fair, I also tried the worm shit before I fed it to them.
That is also true. He did eat the worm shit first to make sure it wasn't, like super toxic.
Licked it. See how it tastes.
Also true.
Yep.
He did only lick it as opposed to force feeding quite a bit of it to the prisoner.
I didn't force feed it. I gave him a choice.
That was not a real choice.
Yes, it was. Granted, he didn't know it was the,
And on
a real
tonight's
choice.
discussion in morality,
Look, I outright committed
He was
acts of
given-
terrorism. I get it if I'm in trouble. But Viridia was diplomatic and deserves to be praised for how well she handled herself.
I just didn't understand the situation. He insulted me, so I lost my temper. As for Viridia, she was fantastic, and Queen Aurora Lee would have been very proud to have been in her presence at that moment.
Viridia doesn't say a word at this point, but visibly blushes. She turns like 8 shades of anime pink.
yeah.
Cool.
We're all admitting to our crimes and we're
I
like,
know.
I did it, but
I'm just watching
This is
the
like
show.
confession
I'm
time.
just watching the show, and
Well,
these
they're
are the
like-
people that I am
may
now
be
hanging
cruel.
out with.
Okay, fan fucking
have
bastard.
I, Ronan?
What crime are we really apologizing for? Because, it was never specified which crime we did.
Well,
I'm not
let's
sure
see.
we committed a crime per se.
No, but you did create quite a few acts against the civilized populace of the planet, as it were.
No,
If it wasn't
to be
for
fair,
civilized.
Humanity.
to be fair,
It can't
they
be
committed
considered
the first crime.
which
We
group?
only defended the humans that got tortured. The humans and elves that got tortured were in the process of attempting to commit genocide against the Mycoloids. They weren't just going for a few random Mycoloids for a hunt, which would have been terrible as it happens. They were specifically harvesting their children, and when the Mycoloids tried to stop them, they intended to commit full genocide. They brought an army up that mountain and attacked them. My friends may have been brutal in their methods, but they were right on the ethics.
look, I may be cruel, and I may be down with acts of terrorism when necessary. I'm never gonna lie to you.
Well, you understand this is a lot for us to chew on. I mean, you're telling us that a bunch of monstrous fungus people
They're not monstrous, they're very kind.
were in the right,
They were quite diplomatic.
but a bunch of people from our civilization were the perpetrators of the true falsehood here?
Do any of your kind have that hearing, seeing thoughts shit?
Yes, we do have several psychic druids here.
I'd be happy to show you my own memory of it.
We would be happy to show you our memories of what truly transpired, and then you would see once and for all that the Mycoloids are
And now
not
that you know I'm
monsters.
too simple to lie in my memories, also true.
All of you?
I mean, to
Well,
be
no,
fair,
just Kalora. To be fair, she's.
I wasn't here for the war. I spawned the next day when we punishment was still done.
I don't think we did anything wrong.
We'll get back to what you mean by you spawned. You sound like a salmon.
Wisp, Azzy, you don't mind having your memories looked at,
I
right?
just showed up on the ship, so I
It ain't
have
gonna hurt
no
you
idea
none.
what you're even talking
how
about.
do you know?
Gotta be fair.
I'll buy you some.
It might hurt them.
Horrendous.
There's a lot of sex.
Yeah, I'm
in
just
here.
enjoying
I
the
pulled
show
my-
and
my
the
water's
conversation.
Yeah, right.
Like,
It's not that
I
good
can
with
see you
you.
just sitting out. It's the
yeah, I'm just saying.
Just with your arms
As a
up.
bribe.
There
There you go.
This is
I've bribed
reminds me back
this
in the
one.
day.
And this one.
Just, yeah,
But learning your psychic, they don't want to look in this brain.
They can look in mine.
Wisp, I've given Azzy that good whiskey I got earlier. You two can split it as a prize for letting them look at your memories.
I don't think
Oh.
they need to look at everybody's.
Honestly,
memories.
I look at
Oh,
it
we
this
want the
way.
full picture.
I knew it was a trap, and I still came here anyway.
well, then you might want to get a hold of this alabaster person and maybe check his memories too, because he was there.
Well, from what we understand, he was
Damn, party foul. Still
quite
stuff
unreachable at the moment. He's gone into the Fey realm, to his home.
Makes sense.
It looks that would you want to follow a Fey to their home in the Fey realm?
I am a fae.
I get that. Would you follow one of your brothers and sisters into their home if they were running? And you weren't
Depends on
expected?
Depends on how much information I needed. In a legal way.
Look, Alabaster didn't participate in the things you're concerned about anyways.
Fair enough. Well,
You have a willingness? None of us
Three
have
of you,
anything to
correct?
hide. Wisp? Wisp is wandering around the hut. Wisp?
Do you have? Are you consenting for your memories to be looked at,
Yeah, I'm
potentially in
gonna
the
consent
hopes
for my
of them
memories to be
figuring
looked
out
at.
what you don't remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna consent, but at the same time, I'm gonna point out that I didn't have to be here. I knew it was a trap, and I came anyway.
good, you can go last.
Okay, cool.
And I will pop right up like, go ahead. Look, I ain't scared.
One of what you would recognize to be one of the seniors of the orders, like, this is a venerable old human male, steps forward. His eyes are white, full cataracts. Doesn't walk with a cane. Cracks his knuckles. Says, "Come here, girl."
I step forward and I'm totally relaxed at this point. I'm not afraid of it.
Not a
Reaches-
girl.
Well, female in form.
Yeah. Blind man doesn't know.
Yep, female in form and voice.
Reaches out. And the second that his fingertips touch your head, all you can hear is, "Show me everything, including how it felt." And
I show him the fear on behalf of the Michaeloids. The
all the
rage.
details.
Yeah, I show him, all leading in, hearing about it, the disgust, the rage, the fear on their behalf, the exhaustion from the big flight, and the agony from the fighting the army off, all the way down to the justified rage of dealing with those who had been arrested and not yet executed.
As you reach the end of everything in the trial, that would have been technically this morning, he slows your memories and seems to probe even deeper as you're interrogating the captives.
He
And
can
he's-
feel they hurt babies.
He's looking for pleasure in what you did to that
There-
helpless woman.
No, there was none there.
Any regret.
Plenty of regret with the helpless woman. Like, fuck.
With that,
If
He
she only looked up.
amplifies it 20-fold and lets you go.
That's fine.
Then he smiles. Your turn.
He gets hit with a wave of.
No, it's your turn. Are you ready?
You're old enough to have done most of the sex things I think about, most likely. So that's
Well, you
your
think
warning.
about specific things, love.
Goes back over the events. He actually goes and pulls you, yanks you out of all of your perverse thoughts, throws them out the window, and drags you back to that battle. And starts, and tell us how it was for you, from your point of view.
Well, killing that first blacksmith was very sticky. And then from there, it just turned into killing a bunch of them because they'd been feeding me babies and I ain't okay with that. And then that prisoner I interrogated, he was conscientious of killing and eating babies and selling babies, and I ain't okay with that. So I killed him, and then I tried to kill him with my horns, and when that didn't work, I tossed him in the fire. Because I was mad that it didn't work the first time.
And what kind of emotions would they have picked up through the entire thing?
Um,
Pleasure, regret, happiness, joy.
no regret. Not very many emotion. Like, just like remembering like a little bit of bloodlust with the when I killed the blacksmith, just like the remembrance of what it feels like to have warm blood on my horns and skin because it'd been a long time. And then a little bit of haunting because of like lust. And then just mostly anger.
Looks at you. Got it. Then comes over and looks at you, Liz. Are you ready?
1 second. I'm gonna pull Cheddar out of my pocket and set Cheddar down.
Oh.
Okay, I'm gonna put Cheddar in here.
I put Cheddar on my head.
Looks at you. If I were you, I wouldn't enter anything with a small animal.
Cheddar's safe.
I hope so. Anyway, are you ready?
Yes.
So he reaches out and touches your face. Where it draws your entire consciousness back to the moments when, and through the events of the last couple of days.
Okay.
And describe it from Wisp's point of view. What he has seen and what he was experiencing emotionally and all of that between the time when specifically this particular probe is focused between the time when you left town to go find to go help the Michaelids, or Michaelids, and when you got here. So, how's he felt about the entirety of everything that's going on?
Oh, well, Wisp would feel, I would feel justified because what they were doing was wrong. There was no reason for them to do it. They were given a warning that it was going on. They refused to listen to said warning. The townspeople literally were told that, these were living beings, that they were eating their children, that they were, killing their families, and that, the Myconids had given the warning that if they didn't stop, for every child that they ate or killed, the Myconids were going to take one of their children. We were trying to be, I guess you could say, we were trying to be diplomatic. We were trying to come up with a solution that didn't involve violence, and they refused to accept that solution and went violent with it anyway. So I guess it would be a feeling of justification for doing what I did, a little bit of I would say like excitement or accomplishment because I did what I set out to do. I punished those that needed to be punished, that deserved to be punished. And as far as the guy who I took and ate poop or made eat poop, in my mind I was planning on letting him go anyway. But to be fair, I wanted to basically experiment. So from a scientific perspective, I had him.
It was kind of a why not.
Yeah,
He was kind of a dick, so he deserved it.
Exactly. It was more of a, you were an asshole, so I'm going to, even though I know it's not going to kill you, I'm going to take and make you eat it.
That's fair. And then, after he moves away from the three of you, he looks at you, Viridia.
Not Aspen?
I wasn't part of the fight.
You were part of the last fight.
You were part of the interrogation.
He looks at you, Viridia, and goes, so far I agree with most of what their intentions were. The roads to the hells and all of that, they're paved with those good intentions of yours. You might want to be more careful in how you enact them. You know that you're...
species of child I wouldn't go to hell to protect.
Mm-hmm.
And then they look at you. First of all, decorum, dear. This is obvious that this is a person who is blind as a bat and still looking at you.
Mm-hmm.
And they go, secondly, you, I guess we would say good man, sorry for the confusion, you, sir, and you, you just don't know, do you?
I know very well I'm neither. I am nothing. I am a bird.
Ah, you're something, all right.
I'm going to tap on my shoulder so that way Cheddar comes running back over.
Oh.
I tip my horn so that my horn touches your shoulder and he can run across.
Cheddar just kind of sits there chittering in your ear. Seems like he's reading you the riot act over all this.
Yep,
It's like,
talking to me.
You walked into the trap even though
Looks-
you knew it was a trap.
Right?
but you get a little bit of fucking respect for that. So, decorum. Maybe...
The same me being smart, I literally don't know the meaning of the word.
Do you know what etiquette is?
Nope.
Manners?
Nope.
Viridia?
We are called upon to be shepherds to all kinds.
That made me think Mrs. Deathfucker.
They sigh. They face palm. I'll get back to your feelings on things. I have a feeling for that statement. I know where what I'm going to find there. As for you, young lady. This guy's easily 300 years old.
Will help me recall the last 60 years?
Looks at you and goes, no, I don't meddle in curses. But you are going to tell me everything from the time that you met up with this gaggle of buffoonery.
Okay. A day and a half ago, I went to bed on my 25th birthday and I regenerated because of the curse in the microwave city center. Never been there before. Part of my curse is regenerating at random places. And then...
That's frustrating.
Very. And then I ended up meeting Viridia because I kicked my boot at her accidentally.
At this point, he reaches out. He says, too much. Just show me. And he draws you right back to the moment of the interrogation and what your actions were and what you witnessed and how you felt about it all. From everybody and what you saw to what you did. And he's specifically looking for whether you felt it to be too brutal, whether you felt it to be justified, and whether you took any pleasure in it.
So with my interrogation, he watched me try to be nice to the guy, get belittled because I look like I'm a 12-year-old kid. He could obviously tell I'm the real Aspen, so he knows who I am. He could tell that I felt disrespected. And that my reaction was, I see my reaction as a little bit over the top, but being a hormonal little 12-year-old girl.
Bone shaker, a little over the top, huh?
Yeah, yeah. So there's a little bit of remorse there, but there's still a little bit of justification because I felt insulted. But there was no knowledge of really anything prior to that.
Got it. So, as he's looking at you, he says, well, we'll take those stolen goods off of your hand and return them to their owner. The forearm here.
And the bone over.
And now, for you, Miss Viridia. He reaches out and he drags you all the way back to when you first found out in the town. And tell us how Viridia has felt about everything that she has witnessed.
So I actually take him back all the way to the direwolf attack when we first noticed the mushrooms. I show him how I was terribly concerned about a disease and did not eat the mushrooms when they were offered in the town, only to find out later that was a super good call. I make sure that he sees our desperate attempt to negotiate a peace between these two civilizations and the way that it was an absolute failure from the minute go. I show him the when we were marching back towards the Michaeloid cave, all those people were like stopped. They would just like stop and kind of freeze in the middle of the procession, and I showed him that and the other mushroom infections, and all the way up to the point of the interrogation, and how I happened to realize right away that the woman who couldn't speak, like, the reason I knew she couldn't speak was because she was crying and not speaking. There was no rebellion in her. She was sobbing. She was terrified. She obviously would have spoken in her own defense had she been capable. That's how I figured it out. And how I was horrified by the methodology of my friends, but I did the best I could to save as many as I could. That I show them all the way up to the, like, I'm assuming a lot of druids in this order are actually vegetarians, so that's probably not the first time. Like that overwhelming charred flesh smell in my brain, basically like overriding every other sentence until I
Well, as they are in your mind, so they're going to experience it the way it helps if I roll a 20.
Oh yeah, that does help.
Well, you watch them you feel them and you hear that
Oh
as you hit that part of the memory, and you all watch as it looks like they almost have to swallow dinner twice.
Oh.
You can smell a bile-like belch. They're close enough to you.
I try to like break the connection psychically at that point if I can.
You can't.
Ah, damn.
Well, you're welcome to try.
What kind of a check would that be?
That's going to be will,
Okay.
You gotta do willpower.
and
Yeah. Okay.
that's going to be terrifying. So good luck.
Yeah. I'm gonna do a will check
Roll a 20.
to try to break the connection to keep him from yakking, because I didn't stop for like 20 minutes.
14.
13. Oh, that's a 13.
This one?
No, I rolled that right there.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I thought you
wait a
rolled the
minute.
other one.
I'll
I'll give it to you if you can roll a 23 or better.
No, 13 plus 6.
It's
No, wait.
19.
Yeah, 19.
You said you
Well,
had 14.
he's able to
That'd be
keep his
about 39.
composure, and then he starts going and probing through for your emotional response.
He gets
How much of it was that, and how much of it was the meat?
actually horror, fear, terror, like even there was a point in the middle of all of that where I sort of had what could almost be described as a psychotic break, in that I just kind of felt out of body and like everything was dystopian and happening around me, but I couldn't really do that much about it. I did not have a good time, and he can tell that. I was not having a good time.
To be fair, I have psychic resistance, and I allowed them to be able to see
Yeah.
without trying to fight.
Yeah, also, you didn't
I have
have the
no
same life
choice.
experience as she did, so
True.
that's why. If you'd allowed it, otherwise I'd allowed you to resist. You could be allowed.
Yeah.
You could say you want to resist. It would.
I
be
only
easy.
was the only reason I resisted at the end was to try to keep him from yakking. It's a side effect.
You do not manage to break the connection, and they actually, as they feel you trying to resist, push harder
Mm-hmm.
and pull as much of the emotional from it as they can, and as a result, you watch them start like looking truly terrified as they back away from Viridia.
I mean, technically, the truest brain here would be Cheddar.
And he,
Cheddar's not smart enough to actually conceive of what happened, though, and he spent most of the time in your pocket.
No, I spend a lot of my time on my shoulder.
and how long is a mouse's memory?
I don't know.
Okay, do you? No. No. Mice can remember up to 6 weeks clearly, and up to half their lifespans of a year. With some foggy connection.
So yeah, he would know, but it would all be from a mouse's point of view.
I.e., there was cheese in this pocket.
As
Yeah.
in, woo, food.
Yeah.
740.
I pooped.
Yeah.
So work on that real quick. So he looks at all of you and. Alright, well. You have your work cut out for you.
Oh, you're telling me.
You have a lot of trouble sleeping at night.
That ain't going away anytime soon, and nothing I do from here on out's gonna help or hurt it.
That remains to be seen. You seem to enjoy all that brutality and just like to justify it with something that's a good cause.
Well, that's the nature of the barbarian.
Not
I like
all
to
of
smash
them.
and smash.
They just simple. And
Can break their own morality, that counts more than anything.
you, I'm not sure what to make of. I mean, the mouse is devoted to you for as long as he'll live.
Okay.
Say what?
Randomly whispers like, can't pay.
All right, 10 gold will be fine. You can pay.
No, not pay. I gotta pee.
Looks at Aspen. You. You are under your guard.
Please stay
I
close
don't
to me
think
so I can get you off the ground if needed.
I don't think I'm qualified.
And as for you, sir, we can trust that the people you've brought here will behave themselves. Yes?
Yes. And if you have any issues with them, come and talk to me. And I will talk to them and let them know that when I am absent and we're in your kingdom, we are guests here. We need to follow your rules and your customs. And if they don't like that, well, the town.
A county.
We're still in their world. We're not from where we're originally from. We're guests
you
here.
are. Yeah, you are. I am.
No, I'm talking about the refugees.
Oh yeah.
And so, if there's any issues with them, let them know that by decree of me that they are to listen to you. And if there's any other issues, you can punish as you see fit.
Well, we aren't very big on the corporal known as punishment. So, how about this? Anytime we have problems with the refugees, we'll bring them to you.
That's
And
fine.
to one of the major contributing factors to your country's downfall. And he just kind of smiles in a very eerie way looking at Aspen.
It's not my fault. You shouldn't have disrespected me.
She looks, the elder then looks at the rest of you, says, your preferred assignment in helping with all this, and we will compensate on a per diem type deal, so per job, would be to handle whatever the refugees' real problems may be. And by all means, keep that woman away from a quill and paper.
Me?
Yeah, you.
No. I reach in my pocket. I kind of tuck my.
You need to roll to see who gets stabbed.
I'm taking dice for that one.
She is a wizard.
Give her chalk.
Oh, I totally get
And
stabbed
slate.
on that one. So I'll as I reach in and kind of stash my paper and further crumple it in.
Roll deception.
Yes, nat 20.
Okay, you win.
I watched that happen. I was just like,
What's a plus
17?
6?
I rolled high, but that ain't gonna do it.
26.
Yeah, 26 total.
you're lucky you get to keep them.
Nat 20, it doesn't matter, instant win.
Right?
It's like getting a handful of jokers
Not
playing
20
poker.
per section to keep their pen of paper.
So, should you all choose to accept a steady paycheck,
Four.
Steady pay.
4.
oh, well, it's really simple. You help the refugees, you keep this one from blowing up a large chunk of the planet again, and you help him find someplace else for his people to settle because they won't all fit here.
Yes, my Lord Druid.
And if we don't?
My Lord Druid.
And we'll be sending somebody down south to do, or down below to set up, or to negotiate in the near future. I managed to get that while muddling about through your heads as well.
And if we don't?
Well, the other
Just
option
curiosity.
is that you pay for the acts of cruelty that were exhibited in your dealing with other members of sentient species.
What about in defense of members of sentient species?
You can do it without being cruel. You're not a human.
We managed to do one thing
And they
right.
raise an eyebrow at you when they say you're not a human.
We managed to do
Neither are you.
Exactly, therefore I can do it without being cruel. Why can't you?
We managed to do one
Technically-
thing right and one thing wrong. Hey, look, we're just starting out. We'll get our
To be
bearings.
fair, I'm a predator. Everything I do is with a kill in mind.
I mean, technically speaking, I'm the beast, so, you know.
Mm-hmm.
everything. I mean,
And so with that,
cruelty is in our nature.
am I joining them to take care of the refugees?
You're welcome to try. You would be able to do that. You're also welcome to try and settle the argument that's starting out, since you're technically a diplomat.
Yeah. They're not saying what we did was wrong. They're saying the way we did it is wrong. There's a difference.
But I'm a cat. I didn't play with my food.
There's still a difference. It's not what we did. It's the way we did it that they're disapproving of.
At this point, Viridia stands up, looks at her companions. Good night, my friends. But instead of going off to a tree to go sleep in, which she would normally do, she heads off to one of the cleansing ritual healing cups, smudges her eyes and participates in a cleansing and healing ritual before she goes to bed.
I want to be in the mushroom kingdom.
You wouldn't happen to have a medicine bag of some sort, right? Would you?
We all have bags of medicine all over the place.
Only for bandaging wounds and making sure, nicks and scrapes are taken care of.
Healer tents.
Also,
Would like bag of supplies, cause poof, no magic.
Proof no magic.
maybe want magic help with your bump on your noggin.
We'll set it
It'll
up in the
scar
morning.
nicely.
Yeah, let's settle that up in the morning. Let's go get some rest. It's been a long day.
Fun.
I
I'm
believe-
absolutely roosting in a tree.
I'll be sleeping in a tree too since I don't have a hut anymore.
And I was just gonna kind of like
But
take,
after my ritual.
like a little pup tent that I have in my camper's bag, my pack, and
Yeah.
my bag, and I set up a little tent amongst the refugees.
Hammock and a bedroll. As far up in a tree as I can get. I want nothing to do with any of these people until I wake up.
You almost managed it too.
How far am I from the nearest tree?
You're in a druid's grove.
Okay, so not far.
Yeah.
All far.
Yeah.
You're amidst the trees.
Turn around.
Cool.
Treat.
Well, good. Since I'm not wearing any pants, I'm going to drop down to all fours, and I'm going to run up a tree as I leave a pee trail behind me. Because I told you all I had to pee.
I go around. Well, I go to.
I flew.
I find your tree and a hollow underneath it, and that's where I sleep with my phone.
Okay.
Benefit to being a cat with dangle bits.
That makes more sense than following me, because I was wings and up.
So it sounds like we're all bedding down for the night.
Yep. And bedding down for the end of our stream this evening, because it has been a while.
This has been a really good game.
It is almost 8 o'clock.
Exactly. So thank you for joining us, and have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you next week. Saturday.
Did we do it?
Saturday for Dragons in Downtown.
Yeah. Other than that, again, thank you to our sponsors. Links are in the description.
I will
And,
not be here for Dragons of Downtown, but I will be here next Sunday for next game.
other than that, please like, subscribe, share with your friends. And as always,
Live long and prosper.
Bye!
Bye.